What up, people? Welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. And of course, as I told y'all last week, the return of the Spousey Chief. You want to know why there's a return of the Spousey Chief? If y'all didn't turn in last week? Because I have a special guest on this week. The return of none other than Larry Anderson. Yes, Larry Anderson is returning to the show, returning to the podcast this week. So we got a whole bunch of topics we're going to broach. We're going to talk about the Netflix premiere of Raw, or should I say the Raw premiere on Netflix. We're going to talk about what happened that special night, because that actually coincided with something else that happened at that particular date in itself. We're going to talk about some AEW talk. We're definitely going to talk about something that's going to be glaring as soon as Mr. Larry Anderson comes on your screen. I'm going to get in depth in that. And a return of a near and dear segment of mine that I haven't had the opportunity to actually unveil in a while. And just according to the pre-show meeting, so to speak, it's going to be absolute gold. And that segment I'm talking about is, whoa, it's only smoke and mirrors. Whoa, it's only smoke and mirrors tonight. Yes. Everybody knows I could be a fool. Everybody knows that, yes, I am very, very in particular about my looks, my cut, the cut of my jib, if you so to speak, my clothes, the whole nine. Listen, you think I broke out the teddy bear just because? No, I broke out the teddy bear because don't get it misconstrued. There ain't nothing sweet. There ain't nothing soft and cuddly about the Spousey Chief. Not at all. But I figured I had to have this some type of class, some type of pizzazz, some type of upper echelon, if you will. Because the man that's about to appear on your screen in just a few minutes is the epitome of class, the epitome of number one, top notch, the epitome of champion. With or without a belt, does it not matter? Because Larry Anderson is going to be on your screen in just a few minutes. So we're gonna keep this intro nice and short and sweet, because we got a whole bunch to get into, and we actually got some time to mess with. So without further ado, good night and goodbye. Bang! Mother effer, I said bang!
Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting a total reinvention. The soul is still here, total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music mixed for living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph bacon in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the world of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world at what he does.
Fuck that!
Tap in.
Fuck that! You shut your mouth. Doesn't mean that that shit stops. The rest of you give a fuck. Fuck that! Clear, guys. Fuck that!
Listen, before I bring Larry Anderson onto the stage, I have one thing to get off my chest. And I don't want him to actually be on screen when I say this. So therefore, all attention could be toward me. So you know exactly who is talking right here. You know exactly where this is coming from. Streamyard, when I tell y'all just got your $45 fucking dollars today, right? Why am I having a problem with my stream? This is the second week in a row, not the first, the second week in a row that I'm having a problem on my stream, and you making my podcast seem like a 2-bit, 25-cent operation. Nothing like that is happening. I'm not even upset. I'm just saying, you raise the price, you make everybody have to endure. Matter of fact, not endure, but you have everybody able to see this beautiful mug in 1080p, and then when I try to use my little production in the back, y'all want to lag. Y'all want to mess up my theme song. Y'all want to mess up my video. Y'all want to mess up everything. 5 minutes and 25 seconds into the stream, y'all fucking up. I'm telling you. Every single time at the end of this recording, when you ask, oh, how was the recording? Guess what? It was piss poor. That's how the recording was. It was a crack of shit. That's how the recording was. I just completed my 7th week of acupuncture. And you would think that after 7 weeks, I would have an amount of zen to withstand such glitches. And normally I would. But this is becoming a reoccurring event, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Now, on with our regularly scheduled program. I introduce to y'all the masses, the one, the only, Larry Anderson. How you doing,
it's good to
sir?
be back. It's good to be back. Did you guys miss me?
I know I did. And tell you the truth, I'm quite sure Streamyard probably wished that I would have brought you on the screen sooner, so he wouldn't have to take that verbal ass whipping. But listen, this is the 2nd week in a row. I have no problem. I have top notch. Like, I'm quite sure you saw my quasi promo and promo of
I was about to say, you were ready to open a can of whoop ass on StreamYard, man. Like,
listen, I have top notch internet reception. I pay the top. Like, so what, gigabytes or whatever? That's what I have, or terabytes. That's what I have. So therefore, it's not my Wi-Fi. It's not my connection. It's StreamYard, and this is ridiculous.
It's always the man.
Price of 20. What happened?
It's always the system trying to keep the man down. You know.
Yes. You know, but I got that out the way. You know, I had to clear my soul. Yes. Woosah.
You might get a little enraged in a little bit.
Oh, trust me. Listen, it's par for the course. But like I said, how have you been doing?
I've been good.
It's been a couple months. So fill us into what happened the last couple months.
It's been a while. I remember last time I was on here was before the November pay-per-view, Slamsgiving. And unfortunately, I'm a little lighter out here. I ain't got the Explosive Division Championship no more, but we don't cry over spilt milk. We just get back in the gym and, you know, we do what we do. It was a great match. It was a great night. Didn't even start in the ring. No BS. Like, you know, I ain't gonna cry over spilt milk, like I said. It wasn't my night, and I ain't got the belt. But everybody's wondering if I'm gonna go after the belt, but I'm gonna leave you with this. Certain men need a belt, and when a man doesn't need a belt and he wants more than that, that's when you know he's onto something great. But yeah, it's been good. I couldn't wait to be back on the podcast. I've been watching your episodes, and here we are.
Thank you. To piggyback off that statement that you just did, I don't want you to divulge too much because we do have an event in a matter of days that's coming on.
Yep.
Please, let the viewers know about the event that's going on and
all the viewers out there. January 18th, we're back in Nutley, New Jersey. It seems IWA management wants old Larry Anderson to start back from the bottom, you know, to prove whatever they need me to prove. So I will be wrestling a luchador by the name of Intenso at their pay-per-view called Public Enemies. And he's going to get his ass kicked. Because now IWA is not only about looking good and looking pretty. You know I got good hair. But now it's time IWA sees a more aggressive side of Larry Anderson, which now ain't nobody gonna stop. And they're gonna look at each other and they're gonna be like, oh, we effed up. And yeah, you did.
Now, with this match that's coming up,
Mhm.
would you deem this to be more of a personal grudge or just a necessary means to the end to get the goal that you set in your mind?
Wouldn't call it a grudge. I mean, he's one of the guys I defended my belt against in September. And
Okay.
it's a little viral video on YouTube and Instagram of I told him he had heart, but he didn't have brains. You know what I'm saying? And you never trust anybody who tries to go for your belt. So I just had to make him bow down on his knees my own way. And my leg got in between his crotch there and he felt it. So, but no, it's more of showing management like, all right, you know what happens when you put me against the wall and you push me. You ain't going to like what happens. It's going to be a whole different Larry Anderson 2025. And they ain't got nobody to blame but themselves. And that's what I'm going to say. Do you believe me now? You ready now? You made the bed. Now you got to lay in it.
Do you believe that you're better as the hunter instead of the hunted?
I always had the mindset as I'm the hunter, even when I had the belt.
Okay.
I knew people were coming at me, and not only did I have to wrestle against one person, I had to wrestle against three other guys, fatal four-way. So I was always the hunted. But I always kept the mindset, even when I work out, everything I do, I'm always the hunter because I have that drive, that mentality to say, no. It's like I said on the last podcast, when they think they're playing checkers, I'm playing chess, and I'm always going to stay 2 steps ahead.
Another thing, you said management is pretty much trying to make you start from the bottom to get back up to where you were, and of course, hopefully surpass where you were. Now, do you believe that management is correct in trying? Matter of fact, let me rephrase it like this: do you
Don't
believe
make
that
me
this is a
suplex you
ploy?
now.
Do you believe that this is a ploy by management to try to draw out the best of you, or do you believe that they truly believe that there are other people that they can pretty much hitch their wagon to other than you, and you're like, no. You might think it's him, but at the end of the day, you know it's always been me.
It's always the mindset, right? It's like, it's like the battle of the Pride Lands. You want to be the top dog. You want to be the king of the Pride Lands. You want to be that hungry lion. You want to be the dominant lion. Hey, I understand there's other guys that do other things. That's great. But in my mind, it doesn't matter what flip they could do. It doesn't matter what they can do better than me. I'm still always going to do what I have to do to have that mentality to say I'm the best. I'm just going to show you. And that's no problem. But do I think it's management doing it? Of course, it's always management looking to push and see. All right, how can we bring out the best of them? That's fine. Hey, I love a challenge. I'd never back down from a challenge. How I got into this company, the same way. I had to prove myself. I think I've done a good job. And unfortunately for Intenso, I think we're going to have to put him out a little GoFundMe page because he's in for a real rude ass whooping on January 18th, and they ain't got nobody but IWA management to blame for that
one. After this match, now I know it's always dangerous to look. You never want to look past your opponent. That's rule number one, I would believe. So
Yeah.
I say this with that caveat of you're not looking past this opponent, but at the same time,
I will be stepping over him though.
See, so yeah, you're stepping over in track to someone else or something else. What do you envision if everything goes according to plan? What do you envision to be, let's say, step number 2 in the step of the plan of domination of Larry Anderson after this coming match?
Good poker players never show their hand, right? 2025 has just begun. We have a long way. Do I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve? Maybe. Do I have that ace in the card and in the hand? Maybe. But 2025, it's just begun. This is why everybody got to stay tuned. And I promise you, I guarantee that I will have everybody's eyebrows up, because you never know what I'm capable of in 2025. Just getting started.
We was talking prior to recording that
Yep.
you kind of used this slight hiatus over the holiday season to
Yep.
kind of refocus and get in tune. Can you share with the audience, can you share with the viewers some of the things that you have done over the last month and a half to help you start 2025 on the right note?
The minute that referee's hand hit 3 on the mat, it was time to go to work. It was time to go to work. Hey, what's done is done. You can't look back on it, and if you do look back on it, do your homework so the same mistakes don't happen twice. I've been just in the gym every day, nonstop, getting better. From my barber all the way on to everybody. Hey man, you getting better? You look great. Great. I appreciate that mindset. 2025. Whatever I did in 2024, I'm very happy with how 2024 went on a professional level. I won some tag team gold in IWA. People didn't think that would happen. Unfortunately, we lost that tag team title. Then I proved everybody wrong. And I was a last second adjustment into being the first ever explosive division champion in IWA. And I take a lot of pride in that. And I held that belt with a lot of pride. And I love the fact that everybody wanted to come at me to be the guy to do it. And I have no bad flaws about 2024. I'm just very, very driven for 2025. And there's a lot of people that's on the hit list. And I'm ready to throw darts at. I ain't going to tell you who. I ain't going to tell you when. But no, everybody, I mean everybody that I see that is in my way, eventually going to meet me, and I'm going to take them out.
See, that's I like your mindset of saying that, yeah, last year you're great, you're happy with your accomplishments, what have you, but okay, last year was last year. This year we're going up and forward. We're going to use that as a springboard, not to put it, not to bury it, not to put it in the closet, but we're going to use that as a springboard for the next year. It's always about progression. I mean, listen, I use that kind of mindset now, especially with my personal life of, okay, long story short, I don't really subscribe to New Year's resolutions or New Year's Day or what have you. Like, I might have mentioned in the past, but I had a life-changing event 2 years ago in December, and from that day, from that December 10th, that's when my new year starts. So I've already been a month and a half into my new year, and it's like, all right, once that happens in 1 year, okay, I grasp that, and every year has to be a theme, because that allows me to progress. The first year was recovery. This last year was the understanding of, okay, I've recovered physically, mentally, emotionally. Now, okay, now I have to try to understand. Now, am I understanding exactly why things are the way they are? Why I react a certain way? This year, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't come up with a quote unquote theme yet, but at the same time, I know I'm still progressing. I'm still going up and forward. So so I know I love that mindset. especially when you have to be a goal-driven individual. So, especially in such a profession, such an art form, such a sport. Yes, I said sport of professional wrestling because damn
Give
sure
us
is
our
a sport.
respect. We earned it.
Yes, definitely.
Professional wrestlers all around the world earned that motto of they think, oh, it's fake. No, it's predetermined. Yeah, that what we do is not fake. What we embrace is not fake. That's like a sin word to us. And it spits on the people we seen get hurt and can no longer do this. And I'm glad that you respectfully said that. It's very serious. It's just like basketball. It's just like football. Yeah, we entertain you guys, but what we do is, there's times where some of us hurt and we can't get up. So I appreciate that.
No, it's not a problem. Listen, I've been a fan of the sport of professional wrestling since 86. I'll say since in the 85, beginning of 86. Like I watched WrestleMania 2 when it actually came on Showtime on cable. People don't realize WrestleMania 2, bigger, better, badder. It came on. It actually a week after it came on. It came on on Showtime. That's how I watched it on Showtime. It wasn't pay-per-view yet. The pay-per-view is WrestleMania 3. So that's when I had my introduction, and I've been hooked ever since. It's like I think when we spoke before about when you catch the quote unquote wrestling bug, once you catch it, you do not really lose it. It might subside for a minute, but it always reoccurs. It always comes back.
Brother, let me tell you something. One of my 3-year-old twin sons, okay? The minute he first saw it, the kid got so obsessed with it. Like he does forward rolls. He does like forward sunset, little somersault rolls to the point where like I'm not even BSing you. I got him his own little, championship belt for Christmas. In school, they tell him like, does he do gymnastics? And I instantly put my head down like, I take apologies for that, and he's always trying to wrestle his brother, and sometimes grab his knee. He's like, oh, come on. He's like, listen,
come over here, Dad.
You barking up the wrong food chain, but I teach him some holds. I teach him some holds, so if he ever gets in trouble, Dad taught me how to, technical wrestle.
I think he has his eyes on the household Ulafala.
Yeah. Oh, he's been pushing it. Like we got him like a boom box with a microphone. He says he starts announcing himself to the ring. He comes out with the bell and he's doing all that. And I look at him and I was like, okay, one day I'll show you how it's done. So it's so cool to see, because it reminds him of me when I was his age, 3 years old. And we talked about it last time. Sitting on my dad's, lazy boy chair, and watching the rocker segment, and watching Shawn Michaels throw Margin through the window. So it's pretty cool.
I think the anniversary of that just passed. Not even maybe a week.
No. It's like in a week. Yeah.
Okay, it's coming up.
Yeah. Look at me.
Yeah.
They're probably like, man, 30... he's crazy. It's like, dude, I'm a wrestling encyclopedia here.
30. I think 33 years. 33 years because it happened on the beginning of '92. The beginning of '92.
3 years old.
Yeah, that was the. But not to go too much off a tangent, but if you really think about it, Shawn Michaels was. Now it's cliche that people say, all right, when it's tag team, oh, he's going to be the Marty, oh, he's going to be the Shawn or whatever, based on that. Matter of fact, I see. Lord, yours.
It's like it sucks because it throws so much like people don't understand how good Marty was. Marty was good. Like if you look at Marty Jannetty and he nobody knows this, but he wrestled Ric Flair for the NWA championship before he was the tag team.
Central States.
Yep.
Yep.
He wrestled so many people. He was really good. Like and then you get that cliche. Who's the Marty? Who's the Sean? Who's the this? Who's that? Like they did that with my tag team, New York City New York, New York City's finest, NYC's finest.
Okay.
I guess you're the Sean. Who's the Marty? I was like, egotistically, I could be like, yeah. But take nothing away from Corey Mack, man. Like, we had that street fight at El Nacho's restaurant in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And when I say we had the people hooked into that feud from a good part of 2024, there was people messaging me, yo, I'll be at the show, blah, blah, blah. I said, good. Bring your ass there. You could see me kick his ass, But in the end, he beat me. He beat me in a street fight. He beat me in a street fight. And I'm just happy I gave him that little nudge of aggression that he needed. And he's doing his thing. Like he's on the show on January 18th too. He's doing his thing. So I hate that cliche though. Oh, you're the Marty. Who's the Marty? Because hey, if you really do your homework, it's just the luck. It's that who has more charisma? Who do they see star power in? Who do they do this? It's like Marty Jannetty was a great wrestler when he wrestled, personal stuff in his personal life, whatever, but he was no pun and punch, excuse my language, he was a fucking good wrestler, So yeah.
Shoot.
Look at Midnight Express. Remember Midnight? We talked about it before. One of the greatest tag teams who I believe should be in the Hall of Fame, at least WWE Hall of Fame. They're in other Hall of Fames. There's so many guys great tag teams, Demolition, freaking Fabulous Rougeau brothers. So many guys that, had to span off. Nobody knows that Axe was the Repo Man. Nobody knows that one of the Rougeau brothers was the Mountie. It's just about where they see you. And it's like, hey, a lot of teams, a lot of great teams.
Axe
my
was
mind's
actually
like an encyclopedia.
Axe was actually prior to that. Axe was the Masked Superstar back in the days in the Georgia area. And when he came up to WWE, I think not too much before Bob Backlund actually lost he had a couple feuds with him, but I was watching on Peacock a couple months ago, one of the Garden shows, and he challenged for the belt in like '83. Masked Superstar, aka Axe.
I think I got it mixed up. Was it
Smash
was Repo Man.
Smash was the Repo Man.
Actually,
prior to him becoming Smash was Crusher Khrushchev with the Koloffs.
Yeah. When he had to play the Russian. Yeah.
He was the only one that spoke good English because he was from Minnesota. He was from Minnesota. Well, actually, Nikita was from Minnesota too, but Nikita just gave up that or like
he took the role, brother. He took the role. He said, "You want a Russian? I in Russia. Yeah, It's funny because when I was in House of Glory, and we were in the old dojo. I remember Quinn from Private Party, who's in AEW.
Okay.
He's like Razor Ramon. I used to, I had the hair. He's like, yo, bro, just come in one day, bro, with the toothpick, bro. Razor Ramon. Everybody's like, Chico. And I'm like, every time I walked in, one day I walked in, I was like doing the hand thing, how he came out, stuff like that. So yeah, it's that made me laugh.
I'm not gonna laugh. Sometimes when I'm at work and I'm going down the stairs, I'll end up doing the.
I'll be like this, you know what I mean, with my hair, like whoa,
oh my goodness! But no, you're right with the Midnight Express. That was matter of fact. Let me ask you a question. Sure. Because I'm glad we're actually kind of going into all these different corners. Because I feel like it's very, very. I don't look down. I won't. You know what? I won't say I'm a wrestling snob, but at the same time, I feel like to a certain degree,
Uh,
if you're a fan of the product, I believe that
so,
you should make an attempt to know the history of the product. You
absolutely.
know, so I'm like, listen, I'm not saying that you delve back to all the way to the 50s and 60s, but at the
Mhm.
same time, just don't dismiss because all
Yeah,
right, somebody came up in the early 80s or whatever and had a 20-year career. Oh, that
yeah,
no, you should be
yeah.
educated on that. So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Absolutely. It's
ask
like
you
when
this
Cena was
question.
on top. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But it was when
Mhm.
Cena was on top, everybody said, oh my God, Cena could take on any past champion. Nothing against Cena. I get it. It's that era. You're going to have the little kids in that era say, okay, Cena was the man. Granted, Cena was the man. Whether you said Cena sucks or I love Cena, Cena was the man. You know what I'm saying? But what I loved with Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the
Yes.
tribal chief, put the ones up, is like when he was champion, they made you do the homework. They kept educating you on saying, okay, this is who he surpassed. This is who he surpassed. Why is this title reign so important? You know what I'm saying? So it's giving
Yes.
you the saying why he is the greatest of all time WWE champion is because they educated you while re-educating you and saying, okay, now people are going to talk about me for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And I thought that was dope because people were like, oh, how many people, let's be honest, how many people knew Pedro Morales was the WWF champion? How many people ever looked up Bob Backlund? Probably not. And it's a
Mhm.
shame because they were great. They were great, you know? And it's like, you have your pillars. You have the Hogans, you have the Austins, you have the Rocks, you have the Undertakers, Macho Man, and Macho Man doesn't get enough
Yeah.
credit. Even when he had the belt for as long as he did, Warrior did. Hey, who didn't want to in the 90s put their face paint on, or in the late 80s and shake ropes and put makeup on and be Warrior and do things? I mean, he influenced, look at guys like, that's a different company. I was gonna say Sting. Sting did the face paint, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people don't get their just dues. They don't get their respect. It's like, you know, I mean, man, a lot of people don't get the just dues, and it sucks because they just the pillars, and I understand that, but it's like, you guys, like you were touching on, do your homework, do your history. It's always good to educate yourself because it can bring you up and let people see, if you didn't know about them, this guy was actually good, And I think it's very important to that is doing your homework on the brand.
Yeah, like you said about the pillars. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to know the pillars, but there's for every pillar, there's something that's surrounding it to help it maintain that stature of a pillar. So
Yep.
every era had those quote unquote, and I don't say this to be demeaning, those supplementary players that helped the whole be that landmark in time of okay, um, in the 80s you had somebody we'll get into
Yeah.
later. We had
Yeah.
Hogan, in the
Yep.
80s, but
Hogan had
without
Piper.
without Macho Man,
Hmm.
without all the villains that he had to go through,
Yep.
he had to have a counterpart. He had without
Yeah.
Piper. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't believe it took me 5 seconds to say Piper without saying Hogan because that was
As the
that was the
first
impetus.
person,
That was
I
that was
was
the
like,
start.
wait, hey, WrestleMania 1,
Yeah,
Um, yeah. If you want me to touch on that, or you want,
yeah. Go
oh,
ahead. Like I said, freewheeling.
it's true. It's you look at it, every good guy needs a villain. Every Batman needs a Joker. Everybody. Hogan, if it wasn't for Piper, you wouldn't be cheering for Hogan to beat Piper. Piper needs his flowers. He has his flowers. He deserves his flowers for holding that, to making people believe and really tune in to want to see Hogan stop him. Hogan had Paul Orndorff to go against, Cowboy Bob Orton. He had Kamala. He had King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant. The list goes on and on. He had so many good guys, and they're they should be everybody who helped make that happen should get the same flowers because it takes two to tango. You need a villain for your superhero to prevail in the end. He had Savage. Look at Austin. Austin had The Rock. Rock had Austin. Rock had Angle. Rock had Triple H. Austin had Bret Hart. Austin had Shawn Michaels. Austin had Mick Foley and The Undertaker, Kane. The list goes on and on. It goes and it's like the ladder. It's like, okay, boom, this chapter, that chapter, this chapter, that chapter. You go on to see Ric Flair. He had Dusty Rhodes. Ric Flair damn near had everybody when he was defending that belt. Sting, look, they hit the pillars, even for NWA, WCW. You can't forget that either. You can't just say, okay, Hogan's the best. Okay, at one time, Hogan was the best. Then we fell into the new era where it was, okay, guys like Undertaker, guys like, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. And just a touch, look at Warrior. Nobody gives Rick Rude the credit that Rick Rude, when Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect, even Mr. Perfect with Hulk Hogan, Mr. Perfect with the Ultimate Warrior. When you look at an Ultimate Warrior match, half of those months, it was either Mr. Perfect or Rick Rude. Rick Rude,
yep.
Rick Rude is such an unsung hero as what a villain, what a heel is. Heel was back in that, that era. There's so many. I don't want to keep going on and on. But,
No. It's perfectly fine. Rick Rude was, like you said, unsung. Mm-hmm. I believe he doesn't get his flowers as much as he should.
No.
I'm talking about from world class days with Percy Pringle, aka Paul Bearer.
When he came out with who was he tagged with? He was tagged with Manny Fernandez, right? Yeah,
Manny Fernandez.
Smooth operator. He came out
NWA. Yep. Yeah. And then he jumped over here, to WWF, and then, tell you the truth, if you think about it, what his top work was when he left and went to WCW, and he was the main jewel of the Dangerous Alliance.
He was one of the greatest factions ever. You look at the names on that, and you look at so many people after them who they taught and gave the knowledge to. They all deserve their flowers, from Medusa to Arn Anderson to freaking Bobby Eaton, beautiful Bobby, to Steve Austin, to Rick Rude, and the man himself, the mastermind himself, Paul Heyman. Whoo! I got chills. It's like woof. Like nobody talks about Dangerous Alliance, and man, we could go 3 hours going down this list. Yeah.
They even had people interested in Larry Zbyszko.
Yes, I forgot about him. I'm sorry. Yo, yeah, look at that. When's the last time before that? Everybody
going to Larry Land.
AEWA is when he wrestled Bruno in what was it, Shea Stadium? Yeah. Sorry, Larry Zbyszko, if you ever see this ever. One Larry to another. Ding ding.
Oh my goodness. But no, listen, we're going to use that as a springboard to get into one of the pillars of now, which would be Raw. WWE Raw premiered on Netflix this past Monday.
On my birthday.
I mean, it was very interesting. They had breaking, they had nice storylines or whatever. You had a title change with Rhea, and you had the long-awaited CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match, which was very good, very good. I think that's just the first chapter of whatever story that they're writing. But I'm going to once again give you the floor. And not only was it the premiere of Raw, it was also Larry Anderson's born day. It was his birthday, so it was a double decker on that day. So, what was your initial thoughts on Raw and Netflix? Was there any difference that you could tell?
I thought it was great. Like, if you're a fan of professional wrestling, if you need to be anticipated for something, if you didn't watch Monday Night Raw on USA, but said, yo, we got to be there Monday to see how it does on Netflix, you still got the bug. You still got it. It's still running through your veins, brother. Because how many people, they could be grown-ass adults to little kids, to be like, okay, I sat through Monday Night Raw. Did we all think and we all talk that crap saying, oh, I hope it don't buffer like the Tyson fight? Yeah, we all said we all were like that. Everybody's like, oh, let's see how it goes. You know, and it's so like, I get it. You're gonna have certain fans that like WWE. You're gonna have certain fans like AEW. There's certain fans who just like, you know, other companies. You know, TNA is doing good. You know, if you haven't watched TNA in a while, start watching TNA again, because you're on to, they're getting that fire back, man. Even NXT, like, they're getting the fire back. You have all these other companies, dude. It goes on, but Raw was, to me, I think it was good. To me, it signified the end of stories in a way. All the stories from 2024, okay, done. You know, what did they say? It was supposed to be Punk and Rollins at Mania last year or something like that, or they were supposed to touch up in 2024 before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they delivered. You could tell Triple H and everybody involved, and no, it's not. Oh, Larry says this because eventually he wants to do WWE one day. It's not just that either, because they made you invest, and that's what you're supposed to do with professional wrestling. They're making you invest in the product, in the story. You knew that it wasn't over when Dominic turned on Rhea Ripley. You knew there needed to be an ending to that. You got that ending. You knew when Roman Reigns was coming back at SummerSlam for the Ula Fala. You knew there was going to be an ending to that story. To me, I thought it would have happened at Survivor Series, but it's like Rock says, yo, you don't know what can happen. It's just, you know, there's no end. Just keep watching. Just let it play out. Let it play out. And I think Triple H is doing just that. If you look at since he took over, since what he was doing in NXT when it rebranded from being the comedy stuff that Vince had, and he took it on, and he gave all these guys names and gave them the push. He made you invest, and you have to invest in story. I believe everything was even the Drew McIntyre Jey Uso. It had story. Jey Uso came to Raw from last year. Who was the first guy to piss him? Get at him. Drew McIntyre. End the story. So to me, it's like, okay, we ended the stories of 2024. We're starting something new here in 2025. It's just started. But I thought it was great. I thought every match delivered. I thought it was real good and, worth investing. Same thing with AEW right now. I think AEW, I said last time, remember I was on the podcast, I said, I really don't watch that much AEW. They turned me into a believer, because just because I said that doesn't mean that I don't watch them. It's just now I'm gravitated to more. So I'm watching AEW. I'm watching MLW. I have one of my boys send me freaking CMLL clips and all that stuff, and PCW Ultra, and the list goes on and on. If you're in this, if you're a fan of it, if you do it, if you don't do it, if you, like we talked about, if you have that bug in you, there's never a time. It shouldn't be, oh my God, WWE's on, AEW's on, oh. Yo, bro, you get a whole week's worth of wrestling and some.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Study it, enjoy it, and, have fun.
Now, I'm gonna have, I think, 1, 2, 3 people I'm gonna mention that appeared on Raw this past week on Netflix, and I want you to give me your opinion of what happened and what you think is about to happen. First and foremost, since you mentioned about Roman and Solo, and you thought if anything, it probably would have or maybe should have ended at Survivor Series, because you would think War Games is pretty much all right. That's where we're tying everything up in, but that's neither here nor there. Now that Roman is the undisputed, the only tribal chief, and
The only
Solo effectively left the ring with his tail between his legs. Not so much where Roman goes next. Where do you
Mhm.
think Solo goes next? Because
well,
go ahead.
Roman. See, this is where they get you. Roman isn't the only tribal chief. Remember what the final boss said?
Oh yes.
From one tribal chief to another. You know, so let's see where that goes. Solo, man, hats off to him, man, because like I said, it takes two to make something magical to happen. And I think he delivered. I think he did a great job, making y'all think, hey, I showed you I could beat Roman, but, Roman showed at the end. There's layers to this, homeboy. I've been
Yes, sir.
main event in WrestleMania since like WrestleMania 30, 31. It's levels to it. But I thought it told a great story. What's next for Solo? Maybe there's some dysfunction in his bloodline. Maybe Mr. Pt.2, the Samoan werewolf, that to me, I think is the MVP of that bloodline. And I don't just mean that as somebody, and it goes back to doing your homework. It's going back to studying the professional wrestlers. My man was a beast in PCW Ultra. My man was a beast in MLW, had one of the longest reigning heavyweight championship runs of all time. And that's when I became a fan of Jacob Fatu. Wasn't when he came to WWE. I was very excited. I was long overdue when he came to WWE.
You're like, yeah, finally,
I
right?
used to I used to be a fan. I never forget it. It was him and Hammerstone in MLW.
Okay.
They were holding that whole feud. I think it was MLW or it was PCW. It was one of them where they held that feud, and they made somebody who wasn't a fan of MLW like that invest, and I gotta come back. I gotta see this. I used to tell people, there's a Samoan dude. He's in he's in that family, The Rock and Roman Reigns and Usos. Jacob Fatu. I'm telling you, put it on. Watch. And I'm happy. I'm happy to see any pro wrestler do their thing. Because people don't understand, bro. Like, people don't understand it. It's like my trainer used to tell us, like my sensei used to tell us, like, you got to be a little crazy to want to do this. You got to be a little crazy to want to do this to your body. And it's like so many people put their hopes and their dreams into this. Some make it, some don't. You know what I'm saying? But just getting in the ring, just doing this, and finally seeing your hard work pay off. Yo, I'm proud of anybody who steps in the ring and takes it like serious and does this, and they see everything that they dream for, and they work hard for, and they sacrifice for, just pay off, bro. Because it's a true blessing. It's a true blessing. And everybody, just do your homework on your wrestlers, bro, because you never know when they'll show up on TV, and you'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, I know. Wait a minute, I know you. I seen you. Look at perfect example, Kevin Owens when he was Kevin Steen. And everybody, I remember when he was, it was him and Generico, whoever he may be. They were against the Briscoe brothers, and they were against, and ROH. I was like, yo, that dude, he was a heavy, he was a bigger guy. He was big, but he can move, and he could talk, and he had persona, and then he skyrocketed ROH, and then boom, he comes into WWE, and it just goes on to say it. So many great guys. Look at Cody. Cody did his homework. If something wasn't working out for him, he betted on himself, which everybody should be doing in life. Bet on yourself. Don't ever let somebody tell you, you can't do something. Don't ever let somebody says, you're too old for that. Don't, you're not the right size or this and that. Like, oh, you'll never make it because somebody must have told them in their life that, and they believe that shit. And, you know, and that's just negative energy you don't need in your life. Always go after your goals. Shit, you could be 60 years old and still accomplish your dreams and goals, and anything can happen. Hey, you ain't gonna be complaining when you sitting at home with a nice house and a lot of money, and you know you do your thing, and people like, hey, I know you. Okay, cool. You know whose first doorstep you going to? That person said you couldn't do it. You know, so I got a lot of licks. You know, I got a lot of receipts, and that's why I told you before. In 2024, I was very happy on what I accomplished because I just bet on myself, and I made it happen.
You know, it's funny you say about dysfunction in the solo branch of the bloodline, because you know, even though we're not really going to touch on it, but so much this past Friday on SmackDown, him and Tama was going crazy, and there was one glaring omission that he always says, and you did not hear that ish once. I love you, Solo.
Nuh-uh.
Love you, Solo. You didn't hear him.
I'm mad at you, Solo.
Once. Yeah, it was almost like Solo ain't here. Yo, all right, me and Tama, we're gonna handle our business. You know,
now
so it's very interesting.
But this is where I talked about This is where I talked about where let the story play out. How did that work when Solo turned on the Usos and he stood with Roman? Remember? Okay. And when Roman went away, Solo came the man. And who did he bring in? Tama, Tonga, Jacob. And now Jacob's like, nah, I could do this on my own. I got you. I'm going to show you why I'm the man. But the difference is, and this is me just being a little biased, ain't nobody effing with Jacob Pt.2, man. Yo, that man makes you feel like you one of them little kids in high school. You a freshman, and he's a double senior. And he's like, knock you up against the locker room. Yo, man, move out my way, homie. Like, you know, it's like, you're like, sorry, sir. Gotta go to class.
Yeah, that's original Depot.
Shit.
To piggyback off we're still going to stay in the bloodline, and you mentioned it earlier, about there's not really only just one tribal chief, there is two. The Rock. Now, he did it. Okay, there has been a lot of quote unquote online discourse about when he appeared on Netflix. It seemed like he wasn't staying quote unquote in storyline. You know, he was joking around with Cody while he was in the ring, and then they showed footage afterward. They had a little Terramana in the back or whatever. And then the next day when he appeared on NXT, he mentioned that, like, listen. Which last year, y'all said I was being too mean to him. Now I'm nice to him, and every. But my question is this, I guess: do you believe that he might have damaged the illusion, so to speak, of the animosity between? Because my thing is, the money match to me going into this year, based off the build from last year, was no longer Roman and Rock. It was Rock and Cody. Now it seems to me, based on the past week, or how everything kind of shifted out, it's like maybe they're doubling back. Like, you know what? I think we need to get this Rock and Roman before we kind of like age ourselves out of it. Like, it's not going to happen. So I say all that to say, do you believe, number one, it might have been in Now I wouldn't say bad taste, but it just didn't make sense for him to be so buddy with Cody, even though the last 2 times he made an appearance, it was still on site with Cody. And do you believe that if their plans changed and it's no longer Rock and Cody or Rock, Cody and Roman, what have you, they could have done it in a better manner. But I guess the first one is, do you believe did he mess up the illusion of the animosity between him and Cody by being so chummy, ha ha he, that was last year, 2025. Listen, new year, new me.
Honest opinion, hell no. Because
okay,
if you think about it, it's like bait on a fishing hook, right? You can't go in there automatically saying, I'm going to catch me a flounder, I'm going to catch me a bass, I'm going to catch me a this, I'm going to catch me the biggest fish in the ocean, in the pond, in the lake, whatever the hell you do. You got to make them, you got to go slow. Were they teasing something for SummerSlam in the summer? Yeah. But remember what Rock said, don't ever break my heart again, right? Don't ever break my heart again. Yeah. Now, people think, yo, Netflix, I'm sponsoring Netflix, or I'm plugging Netflix. Hey, that's if you think about it, it's a good chess game. It's a chess game.
Okay.
You look at the 2 people that he named. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes beat his team on night 1. After all the crap that Rock put Cody through to get to WrestleMania night 1. And Cody to beat that team. Right? Going to night 2.
No. Remember, Cody's night was night 2. They whipped Cody ass and
that's right. That's right. Blah. Okay. But still, night 2. There you go. Yeah. You corrected me. Oh, man, look at me. Everybody's like, oh, shit, you got it wrong. It's all right. Trust me. You take a couple of hits to the head, you lose a little something, too. And I just seen that the Eagles beat the Packers. But
what was the score?
22-10. 22-10.
Okay, good. No, I bet on
night 2. Look. Yeah. they I had a good night on DraftKings the other night, man. I feel good. College basketball. Anyway, but let's go back to this because I got like ADD of like I'll go 10 different directions of conversation. Not in general, just in conversation, people. Okay. If you think about it, night two, they brung out all the heavy hitters, and Cody still prevailed. And Rock came out next night. Don't ever break my heart again. So then he named Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns fighting for the Ulafala. I'm the only tribal chief. But Rock gave you a hint. No. I'm a tribal chief as well. So you know what I'm saying? It's planting the seeds. But
okay,
think about this and quote me. It's 7:50. Quote me the date and time. Maybe he was buddy with Cody. Maybe down the line, maybe Cody might need Rock's help. You never know in professional wrestling what can happen. Because if you hear the crowds, some of them are booing Cody, some of them are getting bored of Cody.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So what's the better way? Hey, all I'm saying is Roman's entering the Royal Rumble. You ain't going to have Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble unless something happens. So if it does come down to Cody versus Roman 3, if you're a fan of this, you could see so many parallels happening. Cody can align himself with Rock. Cody can align himself with Paul Heyman. You never know. Paul Heyman likes going where the gold is at. Not saying that Roman can't get the job done, because I'm a big Roman fan. Always have been. Always will be. Even when he was in FCW, I always said, yo, that dude is money. He was his catchphrase, I'll smack. You know, he said, I'll smack. He did some shit. He was, I'll smack. Every promo I ended, I'll smack him with this or some shit like that. But it was upside down. But it could go so many different ways. Now, Roman told y'all, I'm not gonna change who I am. Right?
And he has.
You don't know
at
where
all.
this is going. You just because he ain't cool with Solo don't mean he can't be cool with Jacob. It can't mean he can't be cool. Hey, he's always now he got the Usos and Sami Zayn back, but you're forgetting a key person, CM Punk. Remember, CM Punk is owed that favor. So
Okay.
he's entering the Rumble. He's entering the Rumble. So what if he says, no. What if it's down to him and Roman? Or something says, remember Paul Heyman, I want that favor. Okay, Roman, get out the ring. And he goes to WrestleMania. Or what if he goes and he uses Paul Heyman against Roman? God forbid, you know? So anything can happen. It's just pay attention. Like Rock said, it's going for a ride. Do I think Rock tarnished anything? Hell no. Because Rock's sinking y'all in. He's hooking y'all in. And y'all, he wants y'all to see what's going to happen. He wants y'all to be invested. So just buckle up, bro. Buckle up, because shit's going. Every time it's around Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, you know shit's gonna get crazy.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's dope. That covered the first part, right? Or whatever you had to.
Actually, I think you covered both. I think you covered both eventually. Yeah, because you know the funny thing is you which go you say ADD. Yeah, I think you covered both because you bringing up the Royal Rumble actually made my mind go to another person that I don't think I was going to bring up, but I'm going to bring up also because he's declared himself for the Royal Rumble and he had a spot this past Monday because he's on his retirement tour, and that would be John Cena.
Yes.
Now, out of everything, the thing that you just laid out, or the possibilities here, possibility there with Roman, The Rock, Cody, CM Punk to a certain degree, and you said, yeah, if Roman's in the Royal Rumble, something's popping off in the Royal Rumble. He's not going to be there just for a random elimination. I don't think he's going to win it per se, but something is happening in the Rumble revolving Roman Reigns to kind of give you a headway of, all right, this is where we're leading through the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But Cena's in there too.
Yeah.
What do you believe? All right, macro and micro. Micro, what do you believe Cena's role in the Royal Rumble will be, and do you believe he's going to win the Royal Rumble? I'll just say that's part one, and I'll wait for I'll ask for part two after it.
Cena already did his job for the Royal Rumble. He's got everybody waiting to see the Royal Rumble. You know it's his farewell tour, so if he's throwing himself in the Rumble, he's just as eligible to win it. He has the story. I can go off saying I won the Rumble for the record-breaking win. Remember, Cena won it already a couple times, right? He won it. He tied it with Batista. No, Batista won that one. He won it when they went back to MSG. It was him and Triple H in the finals. I think he won another one, so I think he would be tied. He'd break the record because he has two. He'd have three. So that could go saying, okay, I broke the Royal Rumble record just to go on to WrestleMania to break the most championship wins. He's out here on his last run trying to break records. It's like he's doing a Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying? It's like Barry Bonds wanted that home run record. Okay, cool. Is he going to get it? Compelling story. It could go so many different directions. You know what I'm saying? You got Punk, who, okay, just got past Rollins. Punk and Cena have history. Cena and Roman have history. Who else could be in the Rumble? Anybody could be else in the Rumble. Maybe Seth Rollins might be in the Rumble. There's history with Cena. There's history with Roman. There's history with Punk. So if I was a betting man, you're looking at your final four right there. I would put Cena, Roman, Punk, and Rollins. Just to say, or you never know if The Rock wants to pull a little string here and there, and getting the Royal Rumble, cost Roman the thing. But I would say that's my final four because compelling story. Everybody has history with everybody. Is Roman going to get taken out by Seth? Is Roman going to put his eyes on Seth because he always hates him? Is Cena going to eliminate Roman? Is Punk going to finally get that one over on Cena again and get rid of Cena? You know, it could go any different way. And it's going to be one dope-ass Rumble because if they're smart, they would do it that way. I mean, they are smart. What am I saying? They are smart. But it's like storyline-wise. Go with who has history. Okay, final four guys have the most history with each other. Okay, let's see who's last man standing.
Because we try to be equitable on here. we haven't delved to the feminist side, the female side. It's been very male dominated. So
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Hey. The women can throw down, bro. Let me tell you something. And I used to say it even in my own training at my old school. I said some of the girls are better than some of the guys. You know, so it's like if you look at it, like you put Rhea Ripley in a Royal Rumble, I think she would hold her own. You put Bianca Belair in a Royal Rumble, like, okay, Bianca Belair, she could go. You look at all these girls who could go.
Yeah.
Like, that's very entertaining, too. You got a bunch of girls fighting something. Now they're making Intercontinental and women's U.S. belts for them. Whew, they know what they're doing. Like, I'm happy the women are getting their just dues because people don't understand this, too, and this is a little behind-the-scenes thing, is you see a lot of guys copying the women's finishers as their own.
Okay.
You know, hold on, I'm a man. They're going to see this more. No. Just remember who came up with it. Victoria. Look at Victoria. Came up with Winter's Peak. Yes, it was the Guerrero. It was the Guerrero Gory Special, I think, but she modified it or something like that. And look how many guys, look how many indie wrestlers in ROH everywhere that used it and it got pops. Like it got over. I mean, never take, you know, I know we're going to hit the James Brown song. It's a man's world, but never discredit the women, man. They bust their asses, man, everywhere. WWE, AEW, NWA, TNA, even in the indies. Like, shout out to every male or female because they be busting their ass and killing it.
No, I definitely agree. I was actually referring to being the fact we hadn't talked about the females yet. I was gonna bring one up. I was gonna bring up.
He's like, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah. Your thoughts on Rhea Ripley? Do you believe, to be blunt, do you believe that she is? You know what? I don't. You know what? I'm not going to say that because
the greatest women's wrestler.
I would call. Especially since I'm talking to someone in the business, I don't really want to use business terms like I'm a part of the business, so I'm not going to say over and all that stuff. But do you believe she's as popular as the top females in the past, such as Becky at her height? Matter of fact, that'll probably be the best example.
Yeah, is she more over than Becky? I mean, yeah, because it's yin and yang. Becky got over because she took a real life situation, came out looking like a badass, and the people bought into that because they felt it. They believed in it.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, everybody's right. Once again, do your homework on your wrestlers. Rhea Ripley came into the Mae Young Classic. Long hair. Or before that, when she was in the Indies, long blonde hair. And she even said herself, I didn't feel comfortable. I have to find myself. She betted on herself, and she became who she is. This is like I said last time on the podcast. Everybody's like an onion. You have layers. You have layers. You have layers. She came into that what was it? The Women's UK, the NXT Women's UK thing.
Yeah.
Came out like a rocket. You know what I'm saying? She earned everything. I do believe her popularity is bigger than Becky's because Rhea kept adding on to it. Like Becky came out, all due respect to Becky, but Becky came out and said, I'm the man. Becky was out for personal vendetta. Let's be real. She was Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Sasha Banks, the Four Horsewomen. Everybody who said, yo, they're better than Becky, Becky showed them, okay, I'm on top now. I'm the man of this division. Rightfully so. All respects to her. She earned it. She deserved it. I'm not saying she's a better wrestler than Charlotte Flair. No. But between her and Rhea, Rhea's like, to me, Rhea's here. Becky's like here, but Rhea keeps evolving. You know, she took the mommy stuff. She brought that to new heights. And then she was compared to China. She broke that barrier. She took that, hit a home run. Everywhere she goes, she's hitting home runs. She showed you her vulnerable side when she was always dominant with Dominic. She showed you I could be vulnerable. Here you go, but I can still be a badass. So I think Rhea is definitely on top of that food chain right now for the women in WWE. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna lead into this. I have a great affinity for Bianca. I personally on some respects, you could look at it from two different lenses. You could look at you could look through one lens like, well, Bianca had a run from like a strong 2-year run on both brands from the match, the main event against Sasha in Tampa, and then the following year they had that I call it a classic with her and Becky, and then last year it was like, all right, a rung below, but that was like she was in a different position. All right, we need you to work with Jade. All right, you've had your 2-year run. All right, we're gonna bring you down lower profile, so to speak, and try to prime someone else because she's pretty much made, or quote unquote made in their eyes. Me personally feel that especially now that with the unfortunate these reported injury to Jade, right? I feel like if you're looking at a WrestleMania main event and you just pretty much put Rhea back on that throne officially, there's been one match that has been teased since they was in the Thunderdome era. Matter of fact, NXT. It's been Rhea and Bianca. I feel that for some reason, maybe it's political in the background. I mean, in the backstage, I don't know. But for some reason, they are keeping them apart. And it's almost, to me, like I said, all this is personal. This has nothing to do with anything I've read, heard, or whatever.
Yeah.
It just feels like, to me, it's like, okay, Bianca had a time. We're going to allow Rhea to have a time. But while Rhea's at a time, we're not going to bring Bianca either to that same level or we're not going to have them go together because we don't want the fans to have to actually choose. What's your thought on that matter?
That's a good observation. And I think, like, going back to the Bianca situation, she's hell of a talent. That girl deserves her flowers and some, because it wasn't like, she went through the indies. That girl came from college and destroyed her tryout. They showed videos of her tryout and she destroyed her tryout. Like, I think they had a documentary on Peacock or something. And then, like, you see her name on the list of all the records in Full Sail for women. Her name's on almost every damn record. So props to her. I think they did a perfectly slow build, because I think at the time they didn't want to do the Roman Reigns effect with Bianca. Like, okay, mind you, she never won NXT Women's Championship. Never won it. Not that I believe. No, she didn't win it, right? That was a good thing, because it shows, you're the most entertaining on NXT. But you're the big fish now. Let's put you in the ocean. Let's either swim. Let's either be top dog or not. And I believe for a while they were on the same brand. They were on the same brand. They would give little hints and teases, but then they would automatically switch brands, which was smart.
Yeah.
You have to build. You can't have both dominant women because, like I said, do your homework. NXT, them girls tore it down. Shayna Baszler, don't get her flowers for what she was when she was the Queen of Spades in NXT.
Yeah, man.
Because she ran through both of them for a while.
Yes.
You know, she was a killer, and she ran.
And she made Rhea, because Rhea's the one who beat her for the championship.
Yep. And why? Because Rhea had to be the hunter, not the hunted. And it's a beautiful story of contrast. Like, okay, you could tell a story of, hey, we've been on two different parallels. We almost got there, drifted apart. Almost got there again, drifted apart. They give it a tease every year in the Rumble or something like that. Whenever they're both in the Rumble, they give a little hint of it. Or if you know, stuff like that, or you go to house shows and stuff, when they were on different teams, they give a hint of it. No, not yet. It's all about story. And it will be interesting now, like with what's next for Rhea. Okay, finally give the people what they want. You know? What if it was Bianca that took out Jade? What if Bianca holds that momentum of taking out her own tag team partner to say, if I did this to her, what makes you think I won't do nothing to any of you women in this division to get back on top? Because if you look at it, Bianca was fastly into the title picture. Then Becky came back, halted it. 5 seconds later, she loses the belt, right? Makes her go all the way back to the bottom just to get back on top. And she liked it there. Nobody in professional wrestling or any sport, when you're on top, to say that you don't like it when you're on top and you're the best of the best. And when you get knocked down, if it don't make you hungry to get back to the best, it's going to make you desperate to get back to the top and do what you have to do. And unfortunately, in professional wrestling, there is that shortcut of doing what you have to do to worry about yourself and look out for you. I'm just saying, what if she did knock out her tag team partner? I would use that momentum and be like I said, I took her out and she was on my team. There ain't no stopping me from doing anything to you to win that belt back and show why I'm better than you. That would be a great story. But I do agree with you. I do agree that match needs to happen.
Do you agree or disagree that, because you mentioned how you have different iterations of Rhea? You had Rhea before she came to WWE, Rhea when she was in the Mae Young Classic, Rhea when she went to NXT UK, when she finally overcame the Queen of Spades, when she got on the main roster, when she joined Judgment Day. There's always been some type of evolution with Rhea Ripley. She's always reimagined herself or added a different layer.
Yep.
Sometimes because it wasn't grasping, it wasn't catching on, and was by necessity. But also, while that might be true, it still did keep the character fresh.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, to me, it seems like they pigeonholed Bianca into one character. She has not changed anything since she's been in NXT. Maybe there's been glimpses here, glimpses there, but it seems like they tease it,
They're
and then it
holding
goes
it back.
back to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo,
Now,
I'll put it this:
yeah.
if they let that girl be the EST that she was in NXT,
Go.
it's gonna be one hell of a division. It's gonna be one hell of a story, and I think we're slowly getting that. I personally do. I'm not Nostradamus or anything, but I think we're slowly getting that, and I think she needs that layer. I think she needs that. She needs that turn. I think she needs that edge to show everybody. Yo, I'm not all, look at me, I'm nice. But when it comes down to it, let her be that dog. Like, let her get that dog back in her. Let her be that the attitude she had in NXT, where she's like, I don't care what your ranking is. I'm gonna show you why I'm better than you. And not only am I better than you, but I'm gonna make it look flashier too. I think with Triple H in charge now, with everything, him running it and not having to worry about anybody putting their hands in, it can happen. I'm excited to see where it goes.
The one complaint, a
Mhm.
matter of fact, I won't say complaint.
Mhm.
The one downside to Triple H's booking, so to speak,
Mhm.
but and this might it's going I'm going to say it as a negative, but it's not a negative because we went from microwave storylines for all those years with the old man or whatever to, oh yeah, what happened last week? Yeah, y'all don't remember what happened last week. Why are we going to refer to last week? Now we're
What do you
referring to
mean
stuff
the women's had a 1 minute
years.
match?
Yeah, so I really
Yeah.
appreciate that aspect of Triple H's booking of, okay, the past matters, these little seeds matter, these little hints matter. We're going to call back on something 2-3 months ago to where they would just happen to be passing by or whatever.
Yep.
But sometimes it's a possibility that you can overcook certain things. Like,
Absolutely.
one of the things that I believe, it hasn't happened so much to that point on the main roster, but I remember in the heyday of Black and Gold NXT, the Gargano and Ciampa story, they stretched that out through. Ciampa had 2 major injuries and
still came
went
back,
through
and out
major
of everybody
time.
who could have fought, and he went back to Gargano. Yeah.
That lasted 2 years until the old man decided, you know what? I need them. I need Johnny up here. And matter of fact, I need them, and I need to put them in a tag team.
And I need them to job out.
To blow it off.
Yeah. I mean, even Vince did it too. How many times Cena and Orton had to wrestle each other? How many times did you have to see Undertaker and Kane from 2009 to 2010 do it? How many times we had to see Edge versus Cena? How many times we had to see? I get it. It's story, but once enough is enough. Like, I get it. It happens. Maybe there's just that connection that people always will buy into it, see what it is. But once it's like burnt, like you get burnt out of certain things. It's like, that's why I loved when they thought, oh, Cena and Orton are gonna go against each other again. Nope, they tagged up and they beat up everybody on the whole damn roster that night. Okay, great. You gave it a little suspense. I do believe, even with the Ciampa and Gargano situation, with that, I think it had to do with more because, like, I guess people were leaving at that time. I think like Adam Cole left, and Undisputed Era left, and which I think was not the right choice. I would have loved to have seen Undisputed Era have like a nice ass run in the main roster, and it looked like it was shaping that. But everybody's decisions are their own decisions. Yeah, and they got to do what's best for them. But going back and forth, and then to me, I think it's just recycled what they did in NXT. They're doing on the main roster. It's like you fight, you think they're gonna tease a fight, break up, and what they did in the last time NXT, they both joined sides. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, Johnny Gargano turned on Aleister Black, boom, and he joined Tommaso, and it's another person, yo, his running ROH. Woo! That yo, Tommaso Ciampa made me a fan when he was what was it, the television champion? The ROH. It was like the middle. It was the middleweight. It was the the ROH champion. Then it was, I think it was the TV champion.
Oh, okay. You're going back to Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's it?
That's when I became. That's when I became a fan. Where he was like the schizophrenic. I think he was playing a South African or something. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I was like, he's a crazy son of a bitch. I like him. All right. 92%. That guy's gonna get signed. And he's another one. He got hurt, yeah, but he was hurt. He was reamping his body, seeing everybody around him. Okay, I'm not the same size as everybody. I won't be, but I'll be in the best shape. Yeah. But yeah, I do agree that some things can get recycled because in Triple H mind, if you've never caught it in NXT, I'm going to show you what they can do. But if you've been a fan since NXT, you're going to know and take time and watch because, a turn's going to happen eventually, So it's a give and take. It's like, what's going to happen. You know the history of these two. You know what's the end game. Let's see when it's going to happen.
I've been trying to hold it off long enough, and this is not nowhere near the main event of this episode, but the elephant in the room. Yeah, Hulk Hogan had a very, very interesting response given to him this past Monday, and there could be a lot of reasons, and probably all of the reasons are probably true. It was, I won't say it was shocking, but I'm not gonna lie, I was pleasantly surprised that it was the majority. It wasn't just like a couple scattered boos here and there.
Yeah.
It was, get this motherfucker off my screen.
He wasn't. He couldn't have came into LA with that. Can you pass my Jordan? My Jordan. Oh, sorry. You knew they weren't gonna let him out of LA with that. You knew they weren't. It's being a wrestling fan, can't nobody say at one time they weren't a Hulk Hogan fan. And if you weren't a Hulk Hogan fan, can't nobody say they weren't a Hollywood Hogan fan when the NWO came out and made shit popping again. Thank you. But I don't want my phone to cut out on you because
get the charger.
Hey man, hey listen, professional wrestler. I ain't got no contract. I ain't got that super big, stuff. Am I good? I'm good.
Yeah, you good.
You can't justify the comments he made and being in, being a my pod. I'm messing up now. I was good. Had a good run. We talked about Hulk Hogan and everything's going down south.
See, that motherfucker.
You can't justify it like being a biracial or interracial, child as myself. I'm mixed, and and I couldn't believe he said what he said. Because if you look back and all the Make-A-Wish things he did, and if you really look at the character, the bandana, the trying to act slick and tough, and the jive he tried to use, it was very African American. He knew where I'm not discrediting and saying he didn't grow up around African American people, but if you were around that culture, you know what words not to use and you know what words to use. And know your limits. Always have respect for people. And I'm not saying that he doesn't have, African American friends. I'm not saying he doesn't. But what do we go back to? Do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
Do your homework. That word is, even for somebody who does have African American in his blood, like, there's times you don't use it. Sometimes it is hurtful when you're hearing it said to you.
Yeah.
And because you weren't born to be called that, to be discredited at that, even if that's a word or not. I don't know. But we all, any race, any color, any religion, any belief, we always don't want to be labeled or just seen as something that we're not. I just believe, all the apologies he did, you have to understand, to some people it's very hurtful. There's some people who are African American say, yo, Hogan, I accept your apology. There are some people who's been his friend all his life who aren't African American that say, oh, Hogan gives to all communities. Yeah, but there's also people in this day and age that really don't do their homework about Hulk Hogan. They will go off by what he said. A lot of people are hurt by what he said. And a lot of people want to use his political influences on why he got booed, but that's a bunch of BS, because there's somebody else who made an appearance whose political outlook is his belief, and he was heavily cheered. It's not about politics. It's not about, at the end of the day, it's about the human being you are. I don't know Hogan personally. I don't know. Yeah, I was one of those kids as a kid, like 3 years old. I was at the end of Hulkamania, but I did my homework on it. The whole say your prayers, all that stuff, and the Hulkamania Run Wild. And for me, the NWO Hollywood Hogan was the up and coming and stuff like that. But it doesn't justify slurs. It doesn't justify you thinking, oh, I said it one time, it's a mistake. No, all it takes is one time. You could beat somebody 99 times, or you could lose to them. All that matters is that one time. And a lot of people gotta have different opinions on it. And the LA crowd, and the LA crowd, not just LA, but it's a lot of people who have a different taste in their mouth when it comes to Hogan. Somebody will go the Iron Sheik, and some people are, oh man, he's Hulkamania. That's your opinion. I mean, everybody has the right to believe what they want, but I just don't think it was cool what he said. I don't think it was cool at all.
You know what's so ironic about that you mentioned the Iron Sheik? Iron Sheik been telling us for years.
Yep. That
Everybody
jabroni.
thought Iron Sheik was crazy. Iron Sheik knew exactly what the fuck you talking about.
Everybody said, all right, Sheiky. All right. Yeah. Now, who's telling the truth here?
Now,
the heels are not always evil, people.
No. I want to say at least 80% of 80% of the time, the heels are most of the time are in the right. But that's what makes a true heel, is to have that conviction of your beliefs. That listen, I know I'm right. It might be the wrong way I'm going across it, but at its core, I'm right. Like,
that's what I tried to tell everybody in 2024. And what happened? Oh no. Like, dude, I remember when I won the belt. It's a clip. It's on IWA footage. There was like a fan that got so mad that I won, she got up and left the show. And I was like, bye. I was like, you ain't gonna stop me. I got gold. Sorry. Like, hey, you ain't gonna do everything cookie cut clean. I ain't never said I was. I never said I will. But gotta do what you gotta do to win, damn it. And that gold felt good around me when I had it, so I ain't got no.
It's gonna be back. It's gonna be back. I'm
if it ain't that belt, you never know which other belt I might be aiming for.
Something has to be on that shoulder. I'm sorry. Something has to be on that shoulder. Do you think, because not only did he receive that blowback, they're actually in business with Hulk Hogan based on being partial owner of his Real American Beer. So they have a part of his product literally on the canvas that they're wrestling on. He's been still in advertisements, even though I don't think he's really going to, especially after this appearance, I don't think he's going to appear on Saturday Night Main Event coming up. But do you believe that WWE,
talk about
WWE,
heel work, and I'm here playing with my hair, right? So, everybody's like, "Look at this asshole! Oh God, what a jerk!" Sorry, dude. When you got curls, let me tell you something, brother. You know, we're gonna get on that the little subject later that you talked about, smoking mirrors and stuff.
Oh yes,
but go ahead. Saturday Night Main Event. You don't think he's gonna be on there?
Yeah. Do you believe that some of this outrage should be directed at WWE also? Because not reading or not
reading the energy,
the audience, number one. Number two,
they can't no more. They can't no more.
Number two,
poor Jimmy Hart. That's all I gotta say. Poor Jimmy Hart.
yeah.
But he's used to it. The '80s were he was the best, one of the best heel, managers. God bless him.
Yeah, the Hart Foundation.
One of the best.
But yeah, like where do you believe people are gonna land on WWE after this debacle that happened?
Quote me again, but the right thing to do, capitalize on it. Capitalize on it to the full effect. And you're like, what you mean by that? I'll break it down to you. 1996, they got tired of the red and yellow, right? For different reasons, not because of racial slurs or anything like that, but they got tired of red and yellow.
Yeah.
They booed that man in WCW. You were a big NWA WCW fan. They booed that man, right?
Yeah, he was from the opposition. Get out of here. Why you come down south for?
Nobody wants that shit. Cool. Raw on Netflix. Same thing. Get out of here. Nobody wants that shit. If they think that's who he is, capitalize on it. I would do a sit-down interview with somebody with Hulk Hogan on Saturday Night Main Event. Have Hulk Hogan bare his soul. I gave everything to this company, brother. I gave my all, brother. Trials and tribulations, brother. And these people booed me, brother. So these people can stick it, brother. Rips off the shirt with the NWO. He's like, now I'm going to give you something to boo. And then walks off. And then you start a whole little Hogan heel. It started a different NWO with some people, or just capitalize on it. Give them a reason to boo them. Give them a reason to boo them. Like, if you're smart, capitalize on it. If you're smart, capitalize on it. I swear to God, people watching be like, oh, shit, that would work. I would watch Hogan be heel Hogan and come out to each and every town. To hell with you people. Give them what they want. Give them a reason. Okay, you want to boo me? I'm going to give you a reason. They did it with Rock. Did they not? They did it with Rock. Different scenarios. Take personal things out of it. They did it to Rock. When they got tired of Rock, they said, nah, we don't want this Rock. Rock came out with Versace, and you knew it was over. Called Arizona a bunch of meth heads and crack whores and shit. They hate the truth, but it is what it is. Never been to Arizona. Probably get lynched when I get there or something. Like, call those crack whores and crackheads and meth heads. How dare you long-haired little bastard. But they did the same thing to Roman. Okay, tired of Romans? What they thought was him getting shoved down throat? Nah, man, they were just priming you for the best run of your life. They will prime you for the best run of your life. And then when they turn heel, but what would be the irony? The man who everybody watched Saturday Night Main Event for is the man that tells everybody to go shove it. And he just goes on this tirade every time, every week, via satellite. Say, I'm too good to be on your TV, to be there live, but you could see me via satellite and just start bashing everybody. Screw the little kids. Screw your parents. You know, and use his political beliefs in it too. Why not? You know, hey, there you go. That'll get some rating. That'll get people be like, this son of a bitch. I got you dying over there. You're like, whoa.
I'm going to respond, and I'm going to respond. Right? There's multiple reasons why I'm dying right now. First and foremost, when you said he had to sit down and he tear off the red and yellow, and you started with the N, and I'm like, what?
That's to get the people started, right? You know,
that's number one. Like I'm like,
bastard.
damn. I'm like, shoot, they could. But a new version of the NWA. But,
oh man. So you gotta get the shock value in there.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna dance around this. People can read in between the lines, and y'all will have as much fun as I am right now.
Oh man.
But, number two, then you said you go to town, right? And you was like, yeah, I never liked you people. You know.
Oh my God, that'll be on every damn internet outlet everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
What do you mean these you people?
Oh, like which guy? Little tangent here, right? Like when I was growing up, right? My mom had a boyfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was an older Italian dude. Pretty much I always call him and I refer to him as Uncle Chuck. Pretty much Uncle Chuck was my Santa Claus when I was growing up. Like yeah, like Uncle Chuck, Mr. Minetti, which called R.I.P. God bless. Like Mr. Minetti really made me not understand my quote unquote class that I was in, right? Like because he made my dreams come true to a certain degree, right? So that's why I say I'm like, but like I said, he was an old Italian dude, right? This is the 80s. So he was like maybe like his late 60s, early 70s in the 80s. Yeah. So you know what era he came from if he's that old in the 80s, right? Now my mom, my mom very fair skin or what have you. And you know, we would go to restaurants, it'd be Mr. Minetti, or Uncle Chuck, my mom, and it'd be me. And as you can see, you see my complexion. My mom was very, very fair, and yet so they would look, hey, Mr. Minetti, how you doing? Hey, John, how's everything? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
And then look down at me, right?
Yeah.
So, long story short, we would go out to eat, and Uncle Chuck's favorite drink was a Raw Roy, right? So he had a limit. 3 Raw Roys, he was nice, cool, funny. 4 Raw Roys, all of a sudden he started getting a little slick with his mouth, as in
shit.
And now it wasn't derogatory, but at the same time, just that phrase, you people,
set you off.
So we'd be in the car right before we were about to go upstairs or whatever, you know, and he was like, yeah, you know, blah, 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 yeah, you know, that's what I don't understand about you people. And my mother would be like, didn't I tell you with that you people shit? I will fuck you up. Stop with that you people shit. So that was my first instance of realizing, all right, what you people meant or whatever. So yeah, that's another like inside, like why I was cracking up so hard about the double entendre, like, you know, but no, that would be, I get it. That would be crazy, but that would really be crazy if they really allowed him just to go on these. Because you know, another thing that came to my mind was, and matter of fact, I know you remember because it wasn't that long ago, about 10 years ago. Remember with Jack Swagger, and Zip Coulter.
Yeah, we the people.
Yeah. So I'm like, imagine if they brought him back, and and they had him under that gimmick of we the people, but instead of we the people, it's look you people.
or the fact that he got the all-American beer. And he's like, I'm gonna show you real Americans. You know?
Unfortunately, the American flag has become a symbol of a certain type of American, a certain type of belief, which is crazy, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna get into it that deep right now. It does because anytime I'm walking in the neighborhood, like I went to the Poconos a couple months ago, and it's funny because I think I might have video. Took a couple clips on Instagram, whatever, and I was walking, and all of a sudden I started spotting all these American flags, and I'm like, oh shit, looks like I done walked a little bit too deep. I know exactly where the fuck I'm at. Look at all these American flags. Okay, but unfortunately, that's like their calling card or whatever. But neither here nor there. But
that's the
crazy.
First thing that pops in your head, but it can mean something else too.
Yeah, but it's that's crazy. And like you said,
it's funny because I got a story. About that. Right. So he's speaking like automatically you see somebody with American flag and think, oh, very patriotism, the make America great again, people, stuff like that. So I remember when I'm walking I'm bringing my kids to school, and there's always this one older white gentleman that always sees me going up the block, going to bring my kids to school. And he's always like, where's the twins? And he's, he fits the description, right?
Okay.
And this is why I always say, never judge a book by its cover. Because I didn't see it until I seen, the end result of this. So he has an American flag in his car, like in his window. He has an American flag standing outside of his house. And you think automatically, oh boy, okay, no problem. I don't want nobody, whatever their political views, respect whatever you like. I like what I like. I do what I do. You do what you do. Fine. As long as I say good morning to you, say good morning back. That's it. And it says, where's the twins? It's like, drop them off. Oh, okay. So one day he was going, I was like, I wonder what this guy's like. He's probably like, whatever. And out comes his wife, and his wife's African American. And I'm like, never judge a book. And I tell everybody all the time, never judge a book by its cover. Some people love the flag because they love the country. They stand behind the integrity of it. Some people must have been military. Some people have been whatever. But if other people outside of me seeing just him with American flags, they would have thought, oh, he's that.
Yeah.
I was like, and I hit him for a roundup when I say, yeah, wife's African American. Say something now.
See, I agree with especially I'll just say my place of business. I've cause I've been in my job for going on 22 years. So pretty much once you gain a reputation, or after a while, people just you know each other, or of someone, but I've always took the tact of, while I hear about this person, I can only go based on my interaction with the person.
Okay.
Now through that interaction, maybe I can see like, okay, I can see where they're coming from, but my personal interaction with that person was a certain way, so I can't just paint them with a large swath. But Hulk Hogan, which one? But
he's not off the hook on this one.
To be serious for a minute, I really feel that he's way past his expiration date. I just think that in this day and time, with the amount of baggage that he has, that he has yet never really come to grips or even attempted to apologize for it sincerely.
Yeah.
That maybe it's just that time, like, you know what? You don't need to give him the platform no more. I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to earn the living. Look, we know he's one of the pillars, like we spoke about earlier. We know he's a fabric of the history of this company. But in 2025, what's his relevance really? His relevance is nil.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many people that can say, okay, that can start in professional wrestling. You're not going to see a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old say Hulk Hogan's the reason I got into professional wrestling. You're not, but I also think it's also the respect. Everybody's going to respect what he's done. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, we wouldn't have a mainstream wrestling outlet anywhere. Ric Flair, as great as he was, didn't put wrestling on the map like that. Yes, in regional territories, he did. But worldwide, ain't nobody did it better than Hogan. But I think that's why they bring him back. My point of view, after the debacle that happened at Netflix, and they finally seen, okay, we can't control this crowd, we can't tell them what to say, we can't mute them anymore. He should just do pre-recorded messages, keep himself relevant, do pre-recorded messages on like a anniversary show or something. Like at a WrestleMania, if they do a presentation to be, how they do all the big intros in WrestleMania and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if all those who are still around from his time and stuff like that. And I don't mean like the early 90s. I mean from his time.
Yeah.
Do like a little video package, like a pre-recorded thing. And, everybody's going to know your name, see your name, pop up, do your homework. But do I think he belongs in front of a live crowd again? No, because you've seen him very heartbroken, but you see him accept why they were booing. But I think his ego, his ego thought it was for, his political views, but to me, it wasn't about his political views, especially, you weren't going to get over it. They should have thought better. Man, LA, blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah. I mean,
No.
my thing is, even if they had an inkling and thought it might have been something involving his political beliefs, like you said, it was another individual that came on that's very staunch supporter, what have you, didn't get no boos. Matter of fact, the person that set off the show was just down there for New Year's or Christmas and everything with his wife, hobnobbing with him. He didn't get it. So no, it's not. Listen, there's a whole bunch of, and like I said, I'm not gonna get into that right now. Maybe at a later time. But there's a whole bunch of wrestlers that you think they lean one way, and guess what? They lean the opposite of what you think. But so it's not that some are more proud than others, but a lot of times it's not that. It's the fact of you've been this black cloud has been over you for damn near 15, 20 years, and you've never come to grips, never even made an attempt to make it right, and you just think everything is sweet as pie. And on top of the last time you made a public appearance at a political thing, you still had jabs at different nationalities. Yeah. So it's like, you still didn't learn your fucking lesson.
Nope.
And
that's a problem.
As I can tell. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, that's his thing. And he thinks, I understand everybody has the freedom of speech, but you gotta understand something, bro. More eyes are on you. You consecrate that black cloud. You could go on Good Morning America and cry your eyes out and say you're sorry and oh my God, and I didn't know what I said. I didn't think it was bad. You knew what you were saying. You ain't gonna go away. And then he tried to say something. What did he say? I think somebody sent it to me. It's people, Chris Benoit did the heinous things that he did, and people still love him. Why can't they love me? Paul Heyman said it best.
Yourself to a murderer.
Paul Heyman said it best. He's like, Chris Benoit is a wrestler, one of the best. Chris Benoit is a person, piece of shit. That's how it is. But stop using the. Now people understand, like, when they look at Bret Hart and they say, oh, why is Bret so bitter toward Hogan? Oh, why is Iron Sheik so bitter toward Hogan? Why everybody had so much hate on Hogan? Maybe they seen something, maybe they seen something.
They knew.
So, hey, everybody who has something, like that, like if they have that type of, personal belief in life, it always comes to light. It always comes to light, and it just, you got that asterisk, dude. Bonds got that asterisk. McGuire got that asterisk in baseball where you'll never get in a Hall of Fame or some shit like that. Yeah, you got in a Hall of Fame, but you ain't never gonna be that superhero everybody thought you was, brother. Ain't no way in hell. But that's what I think about that because you're done, son.
Shoot. Speaking of being done, we're gonna be done with Hulk Hogan because we gotta get to AEW now.
Right.
You did mention that which go, they've actually started garnering your interest more and more based on what they've been coming up with over the last couple months since we've initially spoke. So
Yeah.
I have a couple storylines that
Mhm.
are going on right now, and I would love your thoughts.
Mhm.
First and foremost, that would be the Death Rider storyline headed by John Moxley. What do you believe? What do you
Okay.
think of his reign as champion so far? But
Uh-huh.
more importantly, this storyline arc of him and Claudio and Will and Pac, and more
Mhm.
importantly, Marina. What do you think about this this storyline about them taking over or wanting to take over the
Mhm.
company, but
Yep.
yet what we see with our two eyes, they're only really taking over the company maybe a segment a week. Like everything
Yeah.
else doesn't matter
Yeah. Yeah.
except for
I don't know
when
where
they're
that's
on
going.
there. So, but yeah, what's your thoughts about this Death Rider thing?
I give, John Moxley's hell of a lot of praise, man. Hell of a lot of praise because if you think about it, out of everybody who left WWE and went to AEW or went to TNA or went wherever the hell they went, there's only two people in AEW that was from WWE that reinvented themselves for the better and like got rid of or re-evolutionized their character. It's John Moxley and it's Malachi Black. Those are the only two guys to me that I feel went to AEW from WWE, and you didn't have to say, "Oh, that's Dean Ambrose. Oh, that's Aleister Black." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moxley came in and said, "Nah, chains are off, motherfucker. Chains are off. Now I'm me." And he did what he had to do, and I give him all the praise because go back to the thing. Everybody's like an onion. It's all about if you have you have to. You can't come in and say, "Well, I'm from here. You know where I'm from." You can't do the Scott Hall and say, "You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here." You can't do that because a lot of the guys who got released were,
Hey yo.
and a lot of people in a lot of people's eyes when they're looked at as, "Oh, we care about the main eventers." You know what I'm saying? That bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, we care about the main eventers. No, care about everybody. Everybody's a main eventer in some way or another. Follow them, but I think Moxley's did a great thing. Do I know where this thing's going? No, because certain people say, "Oh, somebody's supposed to join them and blah blah blah." They're not joining them and whatever. I don't really listen into that whole he said she said shit because um a lot of times they're wrong, and then that's when you give so many people power, thinking they know the business more than people in the business. Um, Like I always like what I did earlier. That was just my opinion. Like that's what I feel. That's what it should do. Um, I love to see where it goes. But yeah, AEW's definitely, got I've been back on the ball with AEW and TNA. TNA's been really catching my eye. I'm like, whoa, yeah, all right, you got a lot of story here. You got a lot of story here. You don't have to, and they get it. Hey, we're not going to fill out a 20,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the big crowd. It's just production is so tight. Production is so good that it makes you want to invest more in the match than just see how many people fill a seat. And I think what they're doing in TNA is awesome too. But AEW, Kenny Omega's back. I remember last time I said it, I was like, dude, Kenny Omega fan, love what Kenny Omega does. His his match in Japan.
Yes.
Everybody, if that just goes to show you again, a man who doesn't need a championship but can still make you invest and deliver a match as if he is the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Tells the story of itself. That's why he is the best bout machine. And if I was a betting man, if I was, somebody like that, and if I was a voice that was heard, shit, why not give him that edge? Say, yo, I went all the way to Japan, didn't come back to AEW. I went all the way to Japan to re-show the world why I'm the best, and had like a freaking 8-star match without any other match I had. No warm-up match to get to that match. No nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, hell, why wouldn't throw him? Okay, I'm back in AEW. I'm tired of seeing what y'all did when I was gone. All right, I'm coming back for the belt I should be having. Let's see who's the real best wrestler in AEW. Everybody go at him. I think that would be dope. It's good to see Private Party with the tag team championships. It's good to see people you broke sweat with and you trained with at one time do great things. I always say that anybody. I know there's people I trained with that's all in the indies. And I think, I don't know if you saw it, but I made a post, I think on Facebook or Instagram. I said, it doesn't matter if we're far, it doesn't matter if we're near, it doesn't matter if we haven't spoken a year. So we all sweat the same sweat. We all cried the same tears. We all went through it. We all shared the same blood. We all shed the same blood.
Yes.
To do what we're doing and live our dreams. And it's good in 2024. I've seen a lot of my buddies, a lot of people I came in training with win some titles all around the indies on the East Coast. Even some, on AEW, and everybody else getting their shot everywhere. It's good to see. But yeah, I'm happy with AEW stuff right now. It's getting good.
To piggyback off the Omega thoughts that you said, that was actually one of the things I was going to bring up. Do you think it was a misstep for AEW to allow one of your marquee players Kenny Omega that had been out for so long to make his initial return on another company's program? Yeah, I know at the time the show was a joint show.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to put that type of match on. Excuse me, he wasn't going to put that type of match on an AEW show on his first.
But whose fault is that, though?
It could be AEW's fault, but it also could be, Kenny Omega saying, "No, I'm going to show you why." Maybe he needed that challenge himself and say, "This is why I'm the best bout machine." And he's probably said, "F you, I'm the best. I'm going to show you why I'm the best. And I'm going to do it in the country where I became the best in the world." And hats off to him. I'm very happy that he did that, and it showed, dude, he could say, "Oh, I'm not as good as I used to be." No, you're better. Because you don't have to do the high risks stuff.
No.
Every match. You bring something else. Bring that psychology now. Show them. I think it was great. But I do think it was, AEW just they should have gave him an AEW pay-per-view to say, "Okay, come here first, then do that." But maybe it's just Kenny Omega saying,
World's End was right there. Literally, it was like a week and change before the Tokyo Dome. Like
that, or it could have been just like Kenny Omega's poll, just to say, okay, if he's still a VP or anything like that, saying, no, I want to do this. Maybe it was that. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but
also,
New Japan definitely capitalized on that.
Oh yeah. But also, if that was, since that was the case, and if that was the case of, I know I want to go back to where I originally made my name. I know I could tear down the house, and I could also Elevate gave Kid in New Japan or whatever, because I do care about that company, so forth as well. Then if you're AEW, don't you think you should promote it? Like your one of your founding members was in the semi-main event at the Tokyo Dome. You did not promote it whatsoever. They promoted it in New Japan for 2 months leading up to it.
Yeah.
You did not promote it not whatsoever. And then even on the back end, it's almost like you really didn't allow your fan base that only watches Dynamite, that only watches your 3 show, that's not okay. Yeah, I'm a super fan. You didn't allow your fan base to know. Guess what? One of our founding members just tore the building down.
Yeah.
In Tokyo
Once
Dome.
Again,
you had him come out and which go ahead and show and do a promo as if Tokyo Dome did not just happen. Or I don't know if I could do this. I don't, which go ahead. I had a life change. I had a life emergency. I'm just happy to get back to this point. I don't know if I could, but literally you just did it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like the continuity in that's something like my brothers at GI, Gimmick Infringement, part of the 19 Media Group, Winchester McDowell. When I go in this show, they know I don't try to come off as anti AEW, but I do poke holes in a lot of things.
Yeah,
so
I mean there are holes. We got to keep it real. There are holes. If there was holes in WWE, people would be poking holes. So people did poke holes for a while in WWE, so it's all right to poke holes in AEW. I expect to get better. You gotta have strong criticism.
My brothers over there, which I like going over there and chopping up. Even just in the DMs, we'll chop it up, and and we'll talk about AEW, and then they'll bring some aspects and open my eyes. Like, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna go in with the predisposed notion, because I tell everybody, listen, I'm a WWF head, I'm a WWE head. I ain't gonna lie, but my dismay with AEW goes based on this: what they initially told the wrestling world that they were aiming to be. They told the world we're going to give a real life, a real sports presentation. We're going to take it back to the days of Mid-South and Jim Watts and the old Crockett days and so forth and all this other stuff. And I'm
Didn't they try and use ECW's thing of saying they're an alternative? Like Jericho was like, we're an alternative.
Yeah, they did all that. And then I'm like, when the product actually came, all right, they had the ebbs and flows, and don't get me wrong, that first year was phenomenal. 2021 was great when they had all the influx of people coming in there with Punk and Cole and Danielson and everything. Like I was willingly coming out my pocket every 3 months for $60 to watch on the pay-per-view. But when it got to a point of, okay, all right, y'all start off an angle, and then there's never no follow-up. You have Orange Cassidy. Yeah, I'm going on a rant all over the place.
Oh, man.
Orange Cassidy, that to me was primed and ready to be one of your marquee players last year. Well, in this case, 2023, when he went on that run with the international title, and him and Moxley main evented all in.
Yep.
No, matter of fact, they main evented all out.
Yep.
And then it went from there. Moxley got hurt. Then they had to end up getting it back on OC, but it was almost like there was no, all right, we're going to take it from here. It's like he started over again. He went back to the best friends. And then a year later, when Moxley and his group of bandits start coming up, then you want Orange Cassidy to be taken seriously. It's like, but the last year, you never capitalized on the run that he had. Like, he made me a believer. I'm like, yo, OC, that's that dude.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like they make you invested. They say, okay, they make you invested in these guys that people don't always see as saying, okay, this guy didn't jump ship. This guy didn't get fired and come to AEW. This guy's something fresh. This guy's something new. they did it with Darby Allin, right? They did it with Darby Allin. They were giving him the, coming from getting up, and they bring him back down, they bring him back up, bring him back down. Then you just seen him as like, every time I seen him, he was doing his finish on on a glass table or steel steps or the floor. I'm like, they're gonna break this guy. They're gonna ruin his potential. They're gonna break his back, And they did the same thing with Jack Perry, Jungle Boy. Yeah, they did it reversed though. They did it reversed, and I was becoming, I seen his stuff on the Indies when him and Luchasaurus were like just forming before they were, with Jurassic
Express.
Yeah. And I remember just watching like some indies from California, and like they would come out together, and he would be on his shoulders and stuff like that. And they were doing that with Jungle Boy, where everybody was invested in Jungle Boy, going up. The Jungle Boy, stock was rising. All of a sudden, it was just disappearing. Like you had him go a time limit with Jericho when Jericho was the champion, or was it Kenny Omega? No, it was Jericho, right?
No, it was Jericho. Yeah,
it was Jericho. And you go and you build these guys up, and you show the people, no, we're gonna be different. We're gonna give you the guys who aren't just coming over. But then it started becoming the WCW effect and the TNA effect. When Dixie was in charge, I'll just take the guys that are getting fired, and just because they had a name somewhere, I'm going to give them a TV spot, or I'm going to give them a bigger spot. And the guys who, when your company was just starting, people were investing in them, not because everybody around the world knew who they were, is you gave them something fresh to look at, to invest in. And then you gave them the same people who the people want to invest in, let them job out to people who shouldn't be in a wrestling ring anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a knock on anybody. Hey, you're making your money. You signed your contract, make your money. But it should stop being, and people don't realize it should stop being about the, I think I still got it. I think I should still be the guy people talk about. If you won as many championships as you won in your career, and if you headline manias and you did everything you had to do in WWE, and you won it, and it's the same guys who always talked about people in WCW or anywhere else that, they held me down when I was trying to come up. Okay, but you're doing the exact same thing now to the people who are trying to make themselves household names that weren't able to do that on the indies. You know what I'm saying? You come into AEW, and now you want to take from them, and you take their momentum. It sucks because the guys, it'll crush certain people, because if these guys who are coming from the indies, who wrestle in front of maybe 25, 50 people, making about $20, lucky $50, lucky $80, and you're coming in there with your big contracts, and you're going in there and you're saying, okay, well, thanks for keeping the seat warm, but I'm going to take your spot. It's another word I hate. I hate that fucking word. My spot. I hate that shit. There ain't no spot nowhere. I hate that fucking word. Sorry for cursing, but I hate that word. People, I remember there was people like, people would always say, I'm afraid about my spot being taken. What spot, dude? Do what you gotta do. And I tell this to the, the boys in IWA locker room. And I remember I heard somebody say, oh man, my spot. What fucking spot? If you're doing what you're doing, you do it well. You make the people invest in you. You make the people want to come back to see you next month, whether you're getting cheered or whether you're getting your ass kicked. You're doing your job. They're going to come back. They're going to invest in you. Stop that word, my spot. Dude, anybody can go down with an injury. You don't lose your spot. You come back, you reinvent yourself, you come back better. If I hear somebody say, oh, my spot. Like, that's such a stupid word. Like, you put too much into this. Like, you're too worried about your spot Worry about how you're bettering yourself, and not only bettering yourself, but bettering the person you're in the ring with, so you guys have something that the people can gravitate to and have
You
a good
know,
fucking match. Ugh.
you know, that just reminded me of that NWO segment where they was making fun of Arn Anderson and they was talking about the spot.
Oh,
It's like my spot, my liver
Yeah.
spot, my dog spot,
Yeah.
my G spot. What spot? I hate spot.
And you know it's crazy because I watched Kevin Nash's podcast, and
Yeah.
and I that's another person who deserves his flowers, man. Like everybody could, I hate that shit too. They internet community or people want to say, oh, his quad or his leg or this and that. Fuck you, like your ass never got in the ring. Your ass never rode the roads. You never did town to towns like he did. Like you guys should be thanking him, even to the late Scott Hall. Y'all should have been giving them their flowers because they were the first two guys that made sure people got guarantee contracts. Like they were smart. They knew. Okay, they were in the time of where Brett and Shawn had WWF and Taker and stuff like that. They had WWF. And I remember Kevin Nash said it. Yo, Brett was born into this. Shawn loves this. I like it. I love it, but I love the money more. And you have to remind yourself that, like, yo, you love this. Yeah, you're going to love it. Like, I love it. Like, I love it. Like, I remember my boy can send me clips, and I'm like, all right, I got you. All right, watch this one. Watch that. Oh, yeah, I seen that one already. Oh, yeah, okay, here, boom, boom, boom. Or we're coming up with ideas. Blah, 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 blah. What about this? But you also got to remind yourself something. At the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business, And his podcast said, one thing someone told him, the money in the miles. And he don't get his flowers either. They want to joke around and say anything. He's the first man besides what? Warrior that got the belts so quick. Like within 1 year, went from tag champion, intercontinental, and WWF champion. It's just a sign that it's just the era is what messed them up.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody thinks Stone Cold was the first person with breaking the glass entrance. No, it was Diesel. Diesel was the first man. Diesel was the first guy to come out with the breaking the glass, and stuff like that, and cursing on TV first. When he flipped off Taker at Royal Rumble, and he's like cursing on TV. Yeah, but he shouldn't get his flowers for that. But give his flowers because his mind. They were smart, They knew what it was about. They knew they weren't going to beat WWF, but let's go to WCW. Let's try and make it, good. And then once, he said how the backstage stuff got in the way, he worried about the money, and that's what it was. But,
I have a question because this was something that I thought about and then I forgot, and then you just brought it back up. Your thoughts on, I won't say the IWC. No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
But the wrestling media.
Huh.
The Dirtsheets.
I think
the websites, the rumor mills. What are your thoughts?
Remember back in the day when they
or negative? Huh?
No, I'm sorry. What?
No. Which God? I didn't hear the last thing you said. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying. Remember when they used to make you call the hotlines?
Listen, my grandmother remembered. Listen,
I
ran up my grandma's one. I think for Survivor Series 87, you could call the hotline and actually listen to
Mean Gene
of Survivor Series. $150 for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I got to work. I mean, I got to school the next day and I knew exactly who won.
Dirtsheets, I despise. Like, I don't say I despise. I'll use that word. I despise it because it takes the I wouldn't say the fun, but it takes the hard work away from the product. It's a lot of hard work on the wrestler's behalf, and the people running it, the bookers, the people who run the shows. It takes a lot of hard work to get people invested. You know what I'm saying? You have to have it to make people invested, even if they're invested for 5 minutes or 5 months. You got them invested, and when someone used to go to like a taping and then come back that same night, oh, I know what's gonna happen next week. Don't watch it. Oh, da, 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 da. It's like you kill the process of the process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You kill the brain function of the process, because then they only get hype. Oh, see you at WrestleMania. Then it gets into people's minds. Okay, I'm not going to watch every pay-per-view. I'm only going to watch Royal Rumble. I'm only going to watch SummerSlam. I'm only going to watch Survivor Series and WrestleMania, because that's their main go-tos. But you're missing the story, what led you and got you to there. Like the Dirtsheets, I love how now some people who think the Dirtsheets are 100% accurate, and they're absolutely wrong. Like I remember for a time they were split. Oh no, you think that's gonna happen? Okay. I remember they were going crazy. I remember one of me and I don't know if most of those friends, but one of our acquaintances, our friends, RJ, he sent me. He thought, oh, look at the Dirtsheets sent. I was like, why are you sending me this? It's like he sent me like the fake list of the Royal Rumble. I was like,
Okay.
I said, and one name was like AJ Styles. I said, I think he's out. And they had like, Rock is 31 or something. I was like, I don't give a shit about this. And I told him respectfully though. I said, dirt sheets don't impress me. I was like, I'm the type of guy that won't look on the internet. I'm a fan. At the end of the day, we're all fans. Just be a fan. Watch the product. Watch the end result. If you don't like the end result, okay, don't get invested when they try and do it again. Like, nah, not for me. I don't give a shit. But is that still a thing? Like the dirt sheets, and because I know at one point everybody thought Meltzer was the man, right? And then I haven't heard from people. I haven't heard anybody bring him up. Like I remember, wasn't he like friends?
Not positively.
Wasn't he like Wasn't he like when Bullet Club was like the shit?
Okay. Yeah.
He was like all on Bullet Club. Like everything Bullet Club did was like 6 stars, 8 stars, and then like you don't even hear him talk about them anymore. You don't hear him talk about the Young Bucks no more, or like stuff like that. I don't know. It just go through phases. Like people, I remember I watched Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard podcast, and I just laugh at how they hate him so much. Like they hate him so much, and then you listen to Meltzer and but then you go on Cornette, and then you hear Cornette people can say what they want about Cornette, but you got to understand the dude started this when he got in this business when he was 16, and he was very old school. The man got stabbed. He almost got stabbed. He got shot at. It's real to him. It's very real to him. But I'm not gonna say I love the psychology of pro wrestling, but like you're never gonna see me like I'll look away at when like you see people getting hypnotized in the middle of a match. Like I remember my buddies I grew up with, what if this happens to you? And you see like a guy doing like some hypnotizing thing to him, he's stuck in the rod. I said I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror. I'd quit professional wrestling that night, and I'd be like, no. Like I don't say it like there's a rule. Like we were taught, hey, if you're not comfortable with something, say no. I'm not comfortable. I don't want to do that. Too many people to be buddy with people in the indies or get that pop. They'll do anything, but then they don't. Little do they know that maybe somebody from WWE or TNA or somebody from anywhere they'll watch a certain match of yours and they say you did this shit. Nah, pass. I remember one of my mentors, Smiley. Shout out to Smiley Lucha. He told me. I remember he told me he had a indie match, and I think that one of the legends, I don't know if it was DDP or it was Jake Roberts or something, but the guy asked him, he said, can you watch my match? And okay, kid. No. And he was Smiley was backstage with the legends looking backstage, and they seen how the guy locked up, and they just turned their head. They said, you don't know how to lock up right. It wasted my time. That's why, when I was on the podcast last time, I said, fundamentals is key, man. Doesn't matter if you got to practice it 110 times. And that's what was installed to me. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get in the ring. You're not going to be Shawn Michaels. You're not going to be Stone Cold, The Rock, off the bat, off the cuff.
Okay.
Repetitions. And that's why I tell everybody, take your time. Your footing is important. Your lockup is important. I always tell people, not people, but the people, when I'm doing open ring or something, where I go, I train and stuff at open ring, I'd say, what gets me to be comfortable when I do have to perform in front of people is I think is, the big bodybuilder gym, it's called Coliseum 2.0. And a lot of bodybuilders are in there, the legit bodybuilders, and they have their pictures on the walls. And I tell them, I was like, what I do is I look at all them pictures and I think they're people in the crowd. And I'm entertaining them. Every little thing from a headlock, okay, make sure, practice. And, that's the mindset I have, is because when it comes down to when people are in the stands and the people are paying a ticket to come see you, at least when it's time at the end of the night, you're one entertaining dude. I like booing you, or I like what you did here. I like it. It makes you feel good, but it's also a homage to the people who trained you and the people who trained you right. And to say, okay, now I get what you're trying to install in my brain. I didn't want to listen, or I was impatient. That's one thing about me. I was a very patient kid. It's just, a patient guy. It's just, everybody wants to get in there.
That is in. I guess to wrap up the wrestling version.
This is longer than the last one. I'm like, oh shit, it keeps getting longer. And I'm cool. It's cool with that. Next one will be 4 hours.
I love. You know what? I have a tendency. Right now we have. I think we have 4 in the back. Probably a little bit more. Couple months ago, my bro from the Shy, Desmond Powell, hit to the games. He currently has the record for the longest episode, 3 hours and 21 minutes.
That's the record. I could beat that. I think I could beat that. That's a challenge for next time.
Yeah. Shoot, it's him. Then Winchester has 3 hours, and I think 3 hours and 2 minutes. Then Tyler has 2 hours and 45 minutes. So I think we're probably gonna be close to Tyler. No, the last thing I wanted to get to before we we start wrapping things up was I can't forget the ladies of AEW. I'll ask this question like this.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for the women's division, which can be improved by 1,000%, just by not by the participants, but just for the fact that it seems like every division has a glass ceiling. It's like, if you're in the TBS division, you're over here. You don't do anything else. If you're going for the world championship, you're over here. You don't do anything else.
Yeah.
These are the six women that I believe that in 2025 they should revolve their division around. No particular order. Of course, Mercedes, number one. Well, Mercedes, Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter. I don't know what they've done with Jamie since she came back.
I think she's hurt.
No,
she came back, right? She came back.
She came back, and they just haven't done anything with her. Toni Storm. So that's what?
Yeah.
That's 5.
I think they repackaged her as Toni Storm, though.
She's not
she has amnesia or something.
Yeah, she has amnesia. Yeah. And last but not least, some would say Mariah May, and I think they've done it.
That's the champion now, right? Is that the champion now?
The champion, but
she's
they really
doing
haven't
her
had
thing.
any challenges for her.
She's doing her thing.
Why is Athena in a dimension all to herself? She can't block out. Like everybody else that go back and forth from AEW proper to ROH, but Athena is just like Superman 2. She's in that glass and she cannot break out. Why?
You took the words right out of my mouth. That was the one person I was gonna say who should be in the AEW world title picture is Athena, because the girl, I think she came from, didn't she come from Booker T's school?
I
She come from
want to
Booker.
say yeah. I'm not sure, but I want to
I
say
think she
I
came
know
from
she's
Booker
from
T's school,
Texas,
but
so it wouldn't surprise me.
dude, she is a bad ass. She is one phenomenal wrestler. Not even female, male. I feel she's one person who can out wrestle a male competitor.
Okay.
And I believe she deserves so much more than the flowers that she's given. Shit, man. Like, you think I'm crazy, but like, I remember in my book, my notebook, I come up with ideas and I was like, oh, intergender match. Oh, this would be dope. This would be dope. Like, like there are people that where you always want to wrestle, whether it's men or women, that can go. If she ain't on your list of people who you want to like learn from or wrestle, great. The hell's wrong with you? Like, they should be giving her to another person. I don't know what's going on, but Britt Baker really put that division on the map for AEW. I ain't gonna lie. Let's not lie here. I think Thunder Rosa should be getting more. I think she should be. She had a good run. I know there's some people were trying to say there's a lot of backstage stuff between her, Britt Baker, or whatever. I'm the type of person, I don't listen to what he said, she said.
Okay.
If I don't know you, then I don't know you. But I think as a performer, I think them two should be back into something like, yo, you guys, people do their homework. They know what you guys did in AEW. Put them in that class of, hey, you got to get through us if you want to make it type shit. Wow. Not to put people on TNA, man. TNA knockouts are gonna kill it. They are killing it.
They've been killing it for years.
Also, OVW. Nobody knows about OVW. They think OVW is gone and this and that. Yo, yeah, y'all seen the stuff on Netflix, the wrestler and this and that, wrestlers, whatever. But if you really watch their program, if you really follow them weekly, there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of talent everywhere. There's a lot of women wrestlers everywhere that should be getting a shot. But I do think Athena, for your AEW question, your AEW thoughts, Athena should be out of ROH, be an AEW title picture, and she had a good run. She could put on great matches with all them girls. I think all them girls could put on a great match if they're just given the proper story. I know everybody's going after Mercedes Moné. That's her name now. Yeah. They're after her. Okay. I would flaunt all that shit she's doing. I would tell her, oh, I came from here. I did all these big events. I did WrestleManias. I did this. I did that. Make her be that person. Make her be hated and have the AEW girls get resentful and start climbing after her. Who's gonna be the one to shut her down and say, you're in AEW? Now you're in our thing. Like, I think what's her name? Chris Statlander. I think she should be champion again. I think she should be AEW Women's Champion, not just the TBS champion.
Yeah.
There's so many people, like, they look at it and you do your homework on them. Like TNA, I thought Rosemary was good. I thought she's still good. I was a big fan of Su Yung. I remember when she did a show for House of Glory, and she wrestled Sonya Strong, and I think she was just getting her momentum up. I think this was before TNA or whatever. She first went to TNA or Impact or whatever, and she was on the Cali scene, and she came up, and I was like, hey, I watched your match, and I remember she wrestled I forgot who she wrestled, but it was a Lost California company, an indie show. And she came out, and it was her Halloween. She came out with like a baby, like a doll. and she was like the undead bride, and she came out with a doll, and she's like this, and it's on YouTube. Who did Tessa Blanchard beat for? I forgot his name. He's such a cool dude. Tessa Blanchard beat for the TNA title.
I know what you're talking about too, and I really you know what?
Anyway, I remember he wrestled House of Glory a couple times, stuff like that. He's a nice guy. He's really nice, helpful, gives you advice. I have a funny AJ Styles story from House of Glory. I remember when I first started training, and then Smiley took me under his wing. So he said, "Larry, get in the ring." And I said, "Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to get in the ring." He's like, "Get in the ring." So I was like, "All right." So we're locking up, blah blah blah. And I think AJ Styles had a match against Mason Red that night. No, he didn't have a match against Mason Red that night. He had a match against somebody. And he just came. This is when he just was New Japan, stuff like that. It was New Japan heavyweight champion. He came over, and I remember, we were there, say hello to everybody, respectful, blah blah blah, shake your hand. I was like, so we're messing around. So Smiley puts me in the Styles Clash, and AJ was joking around like, hey, that's my move. That's my move. so I was so Smiley like, you want to give it to him? Smiley like, you want to give it to him? He was like, and then he's like, hey buddy, how are you? And I was like, I shook his hand. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you for all you've done. Because at that time, it was Kenny Omega, it was AJ Styles, who I see as guys of today, who I would love to get in the ring with them. Not as like I watched you all my life and I want to dethrone you. But, I just want to learn and I want to get in there. But yeah, that was funny. I was like, hey buddy, how are you?
That's my move.
That's my move. Shit. I was like, I'm getting out the ring now. Go set up some chairs. Yeah, it's funny because there's certain people who when I was doing my come ups and House of Glory, and I was like the young boy and setting up the chairs and all that stuff. As I seen the guys, and some of them I seen like TJ Marconi. I remember I met him first time. He's in IWA. He's an IWA heavyweight champion. I was like, yeah, I remember I met you. I was like a young boy in House of Glory, and like you were a tag team. And he was like, hey buddy, how are you? What's up? And I was like, he's like, oh shit, whatever. But it's like, that's one story to tell. If I ever get signed one day, it's like, hey, I was like, hey, just stop, man. What's up? Hey, buddy.
He called me out. He said my move.
Yeah, but Su Yung, going back to the thing for the women's, I told you, like, when it comes to wrestling, I got like ADHD or ADD or whatever. But I would just ramble. Su Yung, she was very nice. She's like, thanks, dude. I was like, okay. I remember when Kimberly, when she was popular, she was wrestling and stuff, and she was in the Indies, and she was like the person for wrestling stuff, and they were very nice, and they were very humble and stuff. It was pretty cool.
This has been, man.
There's a lot of wrestlers that people should be doing.
You're such a wealth. You have such a wealth of knowledge and stories and introspective perspective from your
if I could ever stop touching my hair, right?
It's you know what? You just
no, go ahead.
Smoke and mirrors. Because you just stopped making me be humble for a minute. Because when you
go ahead.
Hair,
I don't get that much. Go ahead. I'll take the humbleness. I don't get it heard from that much. So go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off. It's just
no. Trust me. Listen, you know how this go. Listen, you get in, fine. I see the way. Like, hey, do you? No, this I had to. This was a brainchild of mine, and I was like, you know what? We discussed it earlier, and he was like, he's totally down for it. So a brand new, long-awaited edition of Whoa! It's only smoke and mirrors.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Gotta get the product right. All right.
So close.
It's funny, we talked about that, right? Yeah.
Now, for a long time,
that was an insider just for me.
Yeah, you're not going to find out what that is.
Yeah. Everybody's like, damn, he really did his hair mid-interview. I'm like, no. It's an insider. Calm down. I'm not that worried about my hair sometimes.
for long time viewers, they know the smoke and mirrors segment is usually my segment in which I detail some type of grooming tip or my latest foray into my Dominican barber of choice and so forth, or just anything that has to do with the upkeep, the personal upkeep of my appearance. Because damn, they didn't call me dashing for no fucking reason. My wife doesn't call me what she calls me for no fucking reason.
All right.
Listen, my wife is in there. She's getting the bed ready, and
this is the final segment,
the
right? This
spousal
is
chief.
it. This is
yes,
all right.
yes. The spousal chief will be live and in action in a very few minutes in my humble abode, aka my bedroom. But being the fact that this is the first time I actually have a guest on for Smoke and Mirrors, I'm going to ask Larry Anderson for, matter of fact, a grooming tip that he could dispel, or matter of fact, expose to the masses out there. So the floor is all yours. Larry Anderson, Smoke and Mirrors.
I mean, I play the persona pretty cool, but the honest to God truth is, it's all about the day of, because you could be lazy, I could be lazy, and I'll just throw water in my hair and whatever. And I just got natural curls. Like, they could be a blessing and they could be a curse. This is the first time I'm talking about my hair in a question. Got me off guard. Nah, it's natural curls, bro. Like, to all the viewers and stuff like that, don't ever see a flaw in what you got as being a flaw that everybody sees. You could bring something to light that you have that other people don't have and they want from you. Like, I could say it's a blessing and a curse to have curly hair, but there's somebody who dyes the type of hair I have. Like, I remember there was one time there was some lady in like a grocery store, like a hospital or something. I remember before my kids were just being born or whatever. And a lady is an old lady. She's like tried to touch my hair, and it was like pandemic era. So I was like, nobody touching me. So I remember she tried to touch my hair. She's like, you have beautiful hair. Oh, I want your hair. I was like, thank you. Don't touch me. It honestly, I can't say I don't use Pt.2. I do. Shout out to The Rock. I do use Pt.2 products, but not all the time, not every day. I'm not going to sit here and say I do it twice a day or not like that. I don't. I could just do water on my face and soap and put water in my hair, gel in my hair. What I had was leave-in hair conditioner. Not everybody can have these curls. No, God bless my sons. They got it. Those two are definitely going to be heartthrobs. And like I said, don't let nobody. Somebody could say, "Oh, you're ugly," or "Oh, I don't like what you have." They just jealous because they ain't got it. They ain't. If nobody's your cup of tea, just keep fucking flawed. Keep shining. Keep letting your aura shine and be the best version of you. Like I said, if I'm talking in character, then I'll talk in character and say, you wish you had these beautiful locks, but you never will, because there's only one me, and I'm me, and you're you, and you damn sure ain't me. And that is your smoking mirror.
Beautiful. I have to add on now. Over the last week or so, matter of fact, over the last month or so, viewers and I don't listen. I don't bring to attention certain things that come on, such as like glasses, right? Like, all right, I got a pair of glasses or whatever. But a couple months ago, in the last year, it was time for me to get a new pair of glasses, right? New frames or what have you. So I have very sensitive skin when it comes to my face and especially my nose. Now I've only started recently wearing glasses for the last 4 years. So it's not like when I was little, I had the glasses or whatever, neither here nor there. But what I've noticed is when I get a new pair of glasses, it takes my skin a while to get accustomed to the glasses. So I start breaking out. Matter of fact, start getting like dry skin right around the
Okay.
nose. So I am a proprietor of Cetaphil. Cetaphil, the Cetaphil
Yep.
lotion, the moisturized lotion.
Yep.
I put it on my face. I put it on my
Mhm.
arms. I put it on my hands. And sometimes,
Mhm.
shoot, I mess around and put it on my scalp because I don't got much hair up top here. So it is what it is.
I got plenty. I could give you some.
I listen. I appreciate it, but no, actually, one of these years, probably for my 50th anniversary of being on this earth, I would actually go full baldy. I'm just afraid to come home all the way home. Hence why you never see me without this trusty hat of all different shades and all different sizes. But
Yeah.
so lately, so this past week, I'm getting myself ready for work, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, okay, I'm washing my face and everything, and I actually my skin kind of was irritated, and you know what? I'm so at at ease and at calm at my superior looks and my beautiful personality.
You're like
I will
the
let
model
y'all
Rick
in
Martel.
on the slight flaw that's in the spouse's teeth. Right here, as you can see, I'm a little bit irritated right here. It was actually worse this week. And I'm like, listen, can it not be? It can't be my frames, It can't. Is it my frames? Yes, they're actually my frames. Like I have to literally make a point. I mean, you're supposed to keep your frames clean regardless, but I have to literally make a point to wash my frames every day. You don't want to know why? Why you want to know why I just don't swap out frames? I'll let you know why. I spent a pretty penny on these fucking frames. These are fucking Gucci frames. These are probably the most expensive frames I've ever had. So therefore, I ain't swapping these shits out. I ain't replacing these shits. I'm keeping these shits on my nose, on my face, and I will deal with the repercussions every day because not only do you have to look good, you have to feel good. Not only you have to feel good, you have to smell good. Now you have to smell good. I lost my train of thought, but you get the thought. You get the point.
I got you. I got you.
But yeah, no, the proprietor of Cetaphil. So for everybody who has dry skin, these are the three products that I suggest: either Cetaphil, Eucerin definitely for the skin, and Aquaphor. Aquaphor has many products also. I became familiar with Aquaphor when my kids were little, and they had diaper rash, and of course, diaper rash is really. If you don't want an irritable baby, make sure they don't got diaper rash, and therefore you put the Aquaphor where you need to be. So yeah, that is this.
Mike Steph's trying to get that endorsement deal, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit, I need something. I'll be putting my cash app down here. Not a damn person want to put that shit in the cash app. Give me $1. Give me $2. But no, it's a passion project for me. But whatever. But yeah, that's been this episode's edition of Smoke and Mirrors. And with all that being said, please let the people know where they can find you on the social medias, and more importantly, let the people know about the upcoming event on the 18th in which you return to the ring. Floor is yours.
Ooh, okay, so on social media, you can find me on Facebook, Larry Anderson. You can find me once again on Instagram at, I think it's L Anderson89 or Larry Anderson _89. Also, you can find me on YouTube. Same thing, Larry Anderson _89. And our next show, IWA presents Public Enemies. Don't miss it. You got heavyweight champion TJ Marconi versus former champion Tahir James. You have myself, Larry Anderson versus Intenso. You have the Urban Warriors Open Challenge. You have a tag team, plenty of tag team matches. You have a tag team title match for the tag team champions. You have a New York City street fight between Corey Mack and Jaden Staley. You have a returning Fly 9 Noriega versus Max Bain for the Intensity Division Championship. And you have an Explosive Division Champion Trey Felipe versus the Cardinal Nick Thompson, and many, many more, including the Women's Championship match and a lot more. That's at Nutley, New Jersey. That's the Saturday, January 18th. Intense Wrestling Alliance. Get your tickets. follow them on Facebook, and come join the ride because you don't want to miss it.
Is this going to be the continuation of your monthly shows?
Yes.
So this is the beginning of
Yes.
the monthly shows.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we'll
do you,
be after this. I think we'll be back in March for Back in the Nut House. I think that's the name of the pay-per-view.
okay,
In the
okay.
Nut House. So March is the next show. And then we have an outdoor show at Elizabeth, New Jersey, El Nacho Restaurant for April. And we'll continue.
And those, and you, I believe from last time you said the Elizabeth shows are usually the ones that fall on Saturdays, correct?
Sundays.
Sundays.
Saturday
That's
shows
right.
are the Nutley shows. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, that's what I'm personally waiting for. Because I need a Sunday off. I mean, I'm off on Sundays, so I'm like, you know what? It's the first show that comes out on a Sunday.
Come through, man. I got the
definitely
tickets
there.
for
Like
you.
I can't have you on a show and then not.
You never know what Larry
Elizabeth's
Anderson's
not
gonna
that
do.
far.
I'm
I can get to
raise
Elizabeth
hell everywhere I go. So you never knew. I might piss off somebody in IWA. You never know what's gonna happen when I'm on the card. Like I say, I don't wait for opportunities. I take them. So you never know.
Only way you can be. But like I was saying prior, you're such a wealth of knowledge, such a wealth of perspective, and I loved the last time. I doubly love this time. Because we touched on so many aspects of wrestling, both past and present, and and where we think it might be going in at least the near future, and just total class. I appreciate the fact that he's pretty much giving me the open, like, listen, when you want me on, just let me know. I was like, yo, you want to come on next week? It's like, all right, bet. All right, yo, can we push it back 15 minutes? Well, what time is for you? So I really do appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you to your audience. And your audience meets my wrestling audience, and my wrestling audience comes to your platform audience, and keep making it happen. It keeps getting better and better, I got more stories.
I kind of envision this like at the bare minimum to have you on right before a show, so you can promote the show. We could chop it up about whatever's going on in the world of not only professional wrestling but the society and everything just fits seamlessly. So this will not be the last time that you will see Larry Anderson.
Absolutely not.
Hopefully it'll be
as
sooner.
Long as
but if
I'm
not, you definitely see him in March.
I'll always be on your podcast. So that's my guarantee to you. It doesn't matter where I'm at and where I go, I'll always find time to get on your podcast.
That's love. I truly appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna get out of here because I'd be remiss. Please check out Gimmick Infringement, Winchester McDowell, every late Sunday night, early Monday morning. Please check out Hip to the Games with Desmond Powell each and every Friday on the 19 Media Group YouTube channel. And last but not least, please check out me and the Mojo King. We form Hidden Gems Football each and every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday during the regular season. Well, during the football season, and at least for the postseason, every Saturday and Sunday, prepping you for postseason action. So we have 2 episodes out right now. Another one will be dropping tomorrow to preview the Monday night matchup with a wild card game with the Rams and the Vikings. So please check out, once again, Hidden Gems Football with myself and the Mojo King. There's not going to be any type of videos. There's not going to be any type of scrolls. Just listen to me, and I will never steer you wrong. With all that being said, we're going to get out of here. See y'all next week, and goodbye.